That was funny.
Greetings, fellow Amblemites. Tiki here.
And BlueDragonFive.
SandyClaws.
Gabby.
And take a while too.
And welcome to the second season of Spielberg Month on the Main Street Cinema, the show where we discuss the finer points of filmmaking. All right, I'm not going to do the Goldblum. Since Spielberg does not do commentaries on his own films, we've decided to do the heavy lifting and uncover the hidden secrets within 5 of his best works. From mashed potatoes to Jeff Goldblum, from premonitions to big friendly giants. Batten down the hatches as we dive into another installment of Spielberg Month. All right. How are you guys doing today? We are here to talk about the Lost World Jurassic Park. I wish it was the last World Jurassic Park. Okay, so guys, we're just going to go quickly roundtable. I want to give you guys maybe a minute apiece because we don't have a lot of time. We're running a little late on this, but all I can say about this movie is I'm fascinated to talk about it because I've always had this thing with this movie where I've always wanted to like this movie so much. Ever since I was a little kid, I've always wanted to like it. And the opening has me, you know what I mean? The opening is like, wait, there's a second island and Hammond is sending Goldblum to the island. Oh my God. But then, I don't know, guys. This is the first movie in my life to ever legitimately disappoint me. I was like a 7-year-old kid when it came out, and it still disappointed me as a 7-year-old kid. Because I love the original Jurassic Park to death, and I think this movie is just kind of a hollow sort of it takes some of the ideas of the first movie, it amplifies some of the set pieces, it amplifies some of the action. But I'll just say this right now, guys. I hate every single character in this movie, including Goldblum. Ooh. I think what they did to Goldblum in this movie is the equivalent to what Disney did with Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean 4. They took a really, really interesting and cool side character and turned him into a cartoon jackass. I wanted to like this movie, guys, so much that I went into it this afternoon Dragon, you know that whole thing of, who was the guy who went into Revenge of the Sith, and then he was like, I'm going to clear my head, I'm not going to be negative about it at all, and then, war comes on screen. You know what I'm talking about, Dragon?
I'm sorry, then war comes on screen?
Yeah, there's a story. I think it might be Kevin Smith, I want to say. I don't know.
Well, I think you're kind of losing me on this one.
Okay, he's there's this story, it's in a documentary. You've referenced it before, and it's this guy's talking about how he wants to go see Revenge of the Sith, and he wants to see it he doesn't want to have any cynicism attached to it. And then he sits down and he watches the movie, and a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away comes up. And then the title crawl comes up, and then the first word of the title crawl is war. And he's like, God damn it, Lucas. You lost me after literally the first word of the title crawl. I'm sorry, Dragon. I don't know who that guy is, but that's kind of how I feel about this.
It might be Plinkett. I don't know. Maybe Plinkett.
Maybe.
Now I want to see Kevin James as a Jedi.
I do not want to see that. Moving on. Okay, anyone else have any nostalgia for this movie? And I say nostalgia lightly.
Nope.
Not really.
The only thing I really have is that kind of the way I get into really kind of a lot of the franchises, kind of the historic kind of franchises of cinema through these great kind of retrospective making of features. And basically, you can find it on YouTube. It's called Return to Jurassic Park, where they go through the whole trilogy. And honestly, that's what really got me intrigued in the Jurassic Park franchise, because that's back when we were talking about Jurassic Park, to get ready for Jurassic World as well. After Jurassic World, I watched Jurassic Park, then I watched Jurassic World. Honestly, the ones in the middle I really hadn't seen, and basically I got kind of the clip note version of 2 and 3 through the making of. So that's kind of the only really nostalgia I have for 2, just kind of seeing the reaction. Mainly the making of these Jurassic Park films has always intrigued me. So.
Mm-hmm.
And Gabby, I believe you were on the same side as me, where you saw it once as a kid, and then you're like, nope, never again.
Yeah, when I was a child, I literally watched it, and I said, what is this, and why? So I was done. was just one time. That's all I needed in my life to satisfy it, because it's like.
So I kind of want to.
It's really hard to outdo a movie like the first one. So I knew this wasn't going to be good, but I watched it anyways because I like Jurassic Park, and I thought, it exists.
Honestly, I thought it was going to be better, because I was like, oh my gosh, they made this wonderful movie. So I'm sure it's going to be great because they already made this amazing movie. And when I watched it, like, disappointment just flooded. I was like, what is this?
Yep.
I think a big selling point is the T-Rex in the city.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even that for me was a little bit too much.
What were you saying, Jacob?
I was just trying to tell my side of this.
Go ahead.
And unlike some of you guys, I didn't actually get into this movie until very late. I mean, like when I got into a big Spielberg kick.
Oh yeah, me too.
I mean, like I didn't see the movie in theaters or anything like that. Heck, I think I came across this movie. The third one already been out on DVD for a while now.
Right.
So obviously it tells how long ago I got 1 and 3 at the same time, and it was still when VHSs were still out.
Oh man, I had this on VHS.
but for some reason, for a while, I could never find this one.
Oh really? Well,
I mean,
that's
this one
because
remained
it's
the
worst
illusion
of the trilogy.
Or because it's lost.
Oh.
My parents had the DVD set with all of them, with all of the movies.
That
so
was a
I could
good
literally
movie.
just pop one in and, go to the next one. And like I said, disappointment. Disappointment.
Because it's such a consistent trilogy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
Jacob, I'm so sorry, Jacob. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So. Yeah. For a while, my exposure was only the first and third one, which sadly ended with the third one. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the third one, but nowhere near as good as the first one. So I was like, okay, I want to see how 2 is.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually, at a thrift shop, I found the second one while I was out there with not a thrift shop, but a pawn shop with my family. They were picking up some stuff, and I saw the movie, and I thought I'd go home and check it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually did. Then, as you guys might be surprised, I actually did enjoy the movie.
Heresy. Heresy. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Not as much as the first one, obviously, but definitely more than the third one.
Yeah, I want to talk about the third one at some point because I actually defend the third one quite a bit. But
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I do like the third one, but I do like the third one. I'm just saying not as much as this one.
Yeah. Dragon, just
maybe rewatching it after all these years will change my mind.
Dragon, why don't you lay the stakes for your what's your take on this movie?
Well, it's I found the making of this very interesting. Kind of what kind of made it deviate from what the original was, and I definitely saw basically the gripes I had with Jurassic Park. Basically, these doesn't mean the first movie wasn't bad or anything. I'm just saying, like, the little holes that you could see in the Jurassic Park, just the concept of Jurassic Park as a whole. Like, it's like you're having such a good time, you kind of let it slide because you need something to go wrong for everything to happen. But basically, those little holes kind of become tears in this film. Like, there's really not a lot of logic.
Right.
Basically, it's like the little logic holes that we had that we kind of looked over. Like, it's like little holes in the hull, if you will. And then it's just now like that we've hit the iceberg. Okay, now we're having some. I mean, again, I love the actors. I love the cast for this film.
I strongly disagree. I mean, the cast on its own, like on paper, looks good.
That's what I'm saying. I like the cast. I mean, I like the actors who are in this movie. I mean,
I do too.
I'll say some performance.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dragon.
I'll say some performances definitely do vary, and I think Goldblum's problem that we'll get into, I guess, is I think he's better as a side player. He's not really cut out for the leading man, at least in this universe, I guess. It's just he's not really the Ian Malcolm character. He shouldn't be like the leading man.
As I said, I compare it to Jack Sparrow in that way.
Yeah. And, again, I like majority of the performances, and there are some good scenes, and I think honestly, Spielberg himself has admitted like his interest kind of waned when he was making this film. I think it shows. He just kind of lived for the sequences, and I think that's what the Spielberg kind of interest the moments in which Spielberg was interested, the moments where he's living from like making these really cool sequences. Those are the good parts of the movie. But it's not a cohesive whole like the first one was, and I think it's very noticeable.
Sure. All right, so let me transition into some backstory, Dragon. I'll kind of start us off, and then you can kind of ebb and flow us in. So what I know of the backstory is essentially it's a very interesting kind of correlation between this and the sequel novel by Michael Crichton. Now, as they were filming the Jurassic Park film, number one, of course, this was definitely a franchise where they were looking from the offset. It's really interesting because Jurassic Park 1, like, they were looking at a theme park ride and a sequel as they were filming the first one. And Spielberg and everyone else kind of assumed that the plot line for The Lost World Jurassic Park was going to be the embryonic, like the Lost Barbasol can from the first movie. But when that didn't end up being the case, they kind of had to rework things. And of course, Isla Sorna and Isla Nublar, Isla Nublar being the location from the first movie and Isla Sorna being our new location. That was sort of the, that was the new direction they had to take with it. And with this new direction, they essentially had, kind of this conservation theme in play, like the animal, like kind of animal rights and stuff like that. They kind of decided to go in that sort of direction with it. And they brought back Ian Malcolm, of course. They didn't bring back Sam Neill. Dragon, I'm sure you can eloquate this kind of stuff a little better than I can.
Yeah. So just to boil it down here, so the kind of cliff notes, I guess. So after the success of Jurassic Park, there's a lot of pressure on a sequel that Spielberg had every intention of doing. Of course, like he wanted to do a sequel. He just had so much fun doing the Jurassic Park film. But, after bear in mind, he did Schindler's List and Jurassic Park back to back, and it was kind of like a way of kind of alleviating all the kind of the dark depressingness of Schindler's List. So it really burnt him out just kind of doing two movies like that, one kind of another big summer blockbuster that Spielberg's known for, and, kind of like essentially an Oscar film. Just kind of like those two movies back to back. It's a really draining experience. He was really burnt out, and then he kind of took a few years off. In this time, he's starting to produce more. He's forming DreamWorks. So he's basically he'd like to do a sequel. He's just kind of wondering if he's going to be able to direct or not. And Joe Johnston, of course, the director of The Rocketeer and the third one, and Captain America, First Avenger, he was in the running. And of course, just because Spielberg then took over this film, he was pushed to the third one. But again, he was always kind of in the running for who to take on the franchise next. Meanwhile, so while the films, another reason Spielberg kind of held off on making the film right at the get-go. I mean, he'd been writing and developing it on the side, but a big reason there was a wait on the sequel, it wasn't immediate, was because they wanted Crichton's sequel to come out first, the book to come out for them to work off of. And here's where I think the film I think this is why we get the film we have today here. Here's the big kind of moment I think shaped the outcome here, is that because of this, because Spielberg I assume if he was asked this by the press, he'd make it clear that we want to see Michael's book next, before we go forward. There was even more pressure from not just fans of the book, but fans of the movie and the book on Crichton to make a sequel. Now, Crichton, from what I understand, he did not want to make a sequel. He didn't feel a need of a sequel. It was going to be a one-off.
Yeah, that's very true, Dragon. He never made sequels to his books, and he thought the story stood on his own. Yeah, and exactly. Obviously Jurassic Park is like the poster of Crichton's whole canon now.
Absolutely, one of the most catchy posters too. Let's not forget.
Oh yeah.
So eventually, he came up with the concept, and again, I don't know how much of it was fire being lit from, or just basically like, okay, maybe I will consider doing sequels. The inspiration struck him. Regardless, it just felt like there was a lot of pressure to come up with a sequel so the movie could get made. So Spielberg, and of course, as Tiki hinted at, Spielberg and I've always loved this idea because Spielberg intentionally set up the Barbasol can.
I'm surprised that we've never gotten this in a film. I'm surprised. I'm genuinely surprised it wasn't brought back for Jurassic World.
They considered it, but I think they realized the whole 24-hour that it would never survive. So I think that's what kind of.
I guess so, yeah. But whatever. It's kind of like a John Lasseter. I don't care. Just give me that plot, But go ahead.
Anyways, basically, Spielberg envisioned paying off the Barbasol for the sequel. The eight or so dinosaur embryos, the DNA, all that stuff, and then. What Crichton did is he steered in a different direction with a whole nother island for the idea. And as I mentioned, Joe Johnston was in talks directing. Spielberg wrote this with David Koepp. David Koepp, the writer from the original Jurassic Park film, but also this Koepp, honestly, from the Jurassic Park films on, he became one of Spielberg's go-to writers who in his repertoire, he gets kind of mixed results. Sometimes he writes really good films like Jurassic Park.
Yeah, he is a very mixed writer.
But yeah, we get other films like Lost World, War of the Worlds, or Crystal Skull. So,
well, hey, War of the Worlds. I'll defend War of the Worlds. Come on.
No, I'm just saying like you have good and you have bad. That's what I'm saying. It's like all mixed in there.
Yeah. Okay, so
yes, Gabby.
No, I just said I agree. I will back up War of the Worlds.
Yeah, sure. I'm just saying like it's like a good.
War of the Worlds, yeah, definitely War of the Worlds.
Okay.
Real quick, almost done. So they didn't consult with Crichton. I guess there was an issue of either merchandising or creative differences, just because they were kind of steering away from what Crichton was doing. Basically, Crichton kind of got froze out of the process. He wasn't as involved as he was in the first movie. That might have been because of some merchandising things they wanted to avoid. It's a little unclear. But Kathleen Kennedy came out with a statement. It's unclear. So they used the broad concept of this from the book. They used the broad concept of Site B and the T-Rex pursuing the baby. Those two plot points came from the book. That's pretty much all they took from. They also took elements from the first book, which we'll get into as the film goes on. They went for kind of a human versus a human hunters versus gatherers theme. Mm-hmm. Like you had gatherers being kind of the guys documenting the dinosaurs, and the hunters, of course, hunting dinosaurs. Basically, man was kind of the bad guy. That's kind of what they were going with in the.
You mean Liam Neeson?
No, not that man. Last thing I realized is in the shooting location. They wanted to shoot in New Zealand, but for monetary reasons, they had to go to California. Humboldt County and Burbank for the San Diego location. They had to use Burbank for San Diego. Because actually, in their findings, they found that tropical environments dinosaurs didn't like tropical environments. Hence, they never do kind of a Polynesian island with Jurassic Park.
Right.
And also, Spielberg brought his guy from Schindler's List who worked for them pretty much from this point onward, Janusz Kaminski, one of those great DPs on film. Basically, the guy responsible for kind of the shadowy, kind of noirish look of the movie, which does look really good.
Yeah. Okay, folks, so we are going to go ahead and do a commentary for this. Obviously, we have some mixed opinions on the movie, so I think it should make for a very fun conversation. We are going to try and do this commentary as loose as possible and make it as conversational as possible so you don't have to watch along to enjoy the conversation. But if you do want to watch along, if you want to see all that Goldblum action on screen, because he is a sexy, sexy man, so I wouldn't blame you. Go ahead and sync up your copy to timestamp 00, and I will count up to 3 and then say go. And when I say go, we will press play. All right, you guys ready?
Mm-hmm. Ready.
Light finds a way.
I'm not sure if I'm ready, but in 1, 2, 3, go! Oh God. As a kid, I'm just like, oh, it's the Universal logo. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, this is going to be awesome.
Disappointment.
Yeah.
One touch I do like is I like how they added the ripples here, I think.
It is a very cool logo.
Yeah. Wait,
I remember the original Jurassic Park had like that very ominous, like you heard like the sounds of the jungle as the Universal logo scrolled. Okay, so the opening of this film, Dragon, I'm sure you came across this in your research. The opening of this film is the opening of the original book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have read both novels. It is a fairly accurate statement.
The interesting thing is that Ian Malcolm gets killed off in the first book, and yet he's just inexplicably alive in the Lost World. It's like, that's just a total retcon.
Is it just me, or does the way the clouds make it look like there's a giant dinosaur on top of the mountains?
It might be just you, but that's a cool thought. Okay,
Tiki, you want to flesh out anything more from the opening from the book?
I mean, to be honest with you, it's pretty word for word and beat by beat what is in the book. It's just like this party going on in Costa Rica, and we kind of, we see the little girl sneaking off, and she's feeding the dinosaur, the little baby dinosaur, and she thinks it's cute. And then, the dinosaurs kind of crowd around her and then devour her. Okay, so wine! We get champagne, guys! The first movie opened with a guy being eaten by a raptor. This movie opens with champagne. Oh my God.
Hammond had a champagne moment in the first one, though.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did, but that wasn't the opening of the movie, and B, this isn't like a quirky John Hammond joke. This is just like, look at these rich fucks.
Like I feel
rich
really
fucks
bad
just lounging on the beach. That's the tone we set.
Okay, why would you lounge on an uncharted island? That makes no sense.
That's because of highfalutin. That's why.
What?
Screw the rules. I have money.
Yes.
It's basically like screw the rules. I have money.
Like, look, I do think this scene is a good adaptation of the opening of the book. Having said that, I just think like it's so out of left field.
Tiki, what timestamp do you have? I just want.
Okay, first you lounge on an uncharted island, then you let your little girl go wandering off into said uncharted island. Why? It's like I feel bad for this family, but why are they this stupid to do this?
I'm at timestamp 247.
Okay.
Same.
All right.
Same.
Cool. We're good.
It's a good thing none of the dinosaurs learned how to swim.
Of course, something they did really good here. They kind of obviously learned on the first movie the mixture of CG and practical effects.
I will say the effects in this movie are phenomenal. I mean, I will not take that away from it. It is a damn good looking movie. Yeah,
it's a very simple yet clever strategy. Okay, in the wide shots, you get that's why obviously we have more of your CG, but in the close-ups, that's where you kind of sell people like, was it CG? It looks so realistic up close.
Now, like I said, I will admit this is a pretty it's just this whole the fanciness of the party is sort of what gets to me. Right. But I do think the actual dinosaur attack is pretty cool.
This kid is unbelievably lucky. This kid should be dead. Yeah, we learned survived. I mean, it's a gutsy way to open a movie, though. It's just like you're expecting.
You know what's even gutsier is the Goldblum transition that we're going to get to.
Oh god, this the Goldblum.
It's the most beautiful moment in the whole movie for me. I love it to death.
Really?
Here it comes. You guys ready? You guys ready? You guys ready? Oh my god! It's so
ridiculous. Just Goldblum yawn.
Oh Jesus! I will never not love that.
I forgot how ridiculous that was when I watched this. I get this.
Even when I first watched it, I laughed, but I realized it was ridiculous.
It's so funny. It's like he's eating the camera or something. It's like he's like just or yawning or what.
Forget eating the camera. He's choose the scenery too.
I think this might be Eli Roth. He said to be in this scene. I think this is.
It looks like him.
It's kind of a little bit of a Raiders connection. You know, the greatest fan film ever made, Raiders.
Oh yeah, that's definitely Eli Roth.
So yeah, this aside from the really bizarre entrance stuff for Dr. Malcolm, I do like the logical aftermath of the Jurassic Park cover-up. Malcolm has a very, very damaged reputation.
Yeah, and he's the only one who actually came out and said something about the island.
Yeah,
Which puts him as the odd man out. Who's eating chips?
Not me.
Ezra.
So we have the great Ian Abercrombie here, who indicates to me that Spielberg loves Seinfeld, given this is the second Jurassic Park film he's put a Seinfeld star in it yet again.
Oh my god.
Enough of the chips.
So we're about to see Tim and Lex. I'm kind of surprised that we haven't seen Tim and Lex come in another sequel. Like, I was surprised they weren't in 4, Jurassic World.
Well, now they'd be fully grown by Jurassic World.
Yeah, and that's I want to see them fully grown. Like, I saw the actor who plays Tim in The Social Network. He has a minor role in The Social Network.
You know what's really good? There's something funny about the actor who plays Tim here. This appearance, and this is a really nice thing Spielberg did, kind of giving him the cameo here, because this cameo alone, this paid for his college tuition.
Really? That's nice.
Yeah, it's just this little role that he had here. And it was like, basically, he calls it Spielberg's graduation gift.
Aww.
Yeah, which is really nice. And, you know, it was nice to see the kids because they were the heart of the first one. Really. Anyway,
do you guys remember there was a rumor that Keira Knightley was going to play Lex in Jurassic Park 4?
Ew.
No, I don't remember
Yeah,
that.
I haven't heard that.
Was back when it was going to be like cyber, like crossbreeding government shit, which it still ended up kind of being.
Well, it definitely ended up being better than the original concept worked.
Yeah. Okay, so we have Hammond's nephew.
It's Ludlow.
Yeah, Ludlow?
Yeah, played by Arliss Howard.
Okay. Yeah, so Ludlow, I like the concept of Ludlow more than I like him in execution. I think he should come across as more of a character than he does. He's just sort of like an average guy. And I think the cool way to play this guy would have been as a Michael Eisner type.
Well, you know,
the way he is kind of like portrayed in this movie, like more concerned about like the money and everything. That's kind of how Hammond was portrayed in the original Jurassic Park book, in a way. Except notably, he's kind of nicer here than Hammond was.
Something I really like with the performance is that he sounds like just a very uber corporate version of Hammond's, of Hammond. Basically, it's kind of what he joked about the parasitic lawyer. It's like, this is the parasitic Hammond.
Right. As I said, I just wish there was more of a presence to him.
Yeah, right. But I'm saying I do like he kind of sounds like a younger. He's putting on a voice that sounds a little bit like Attenborough, but again, just obviously it's not the warm, loving Attenborough. It's just sort of the.
Well, as I said, I think a cool direction to go with this character is that if Attenborough was the Walt Disney, this guy should be the Michael Eisner.
I agree with that.
Like he should have. I think he should have been more sleazy. You know what I mean?
Tiki, I'll agree with you on that. I think they're hinting at that, but you're right. They're not developing it to that point. I think there was a little bit of that idea there, though.
It's a good idea. You're right. It's like that's kind of where they go with it, but it's like they just don't execute it properly.
And this is one of the really nice parts of the movie here.
And this is where, as a kid, I remember it being like flip-flopping. I'm like, oh, there he is, and I'm kind of intrigued about the second island. It might be good. I mean, that intro was kind of weird, but
crap. The first island didn't go well. What makes you think the second one's going to be any better?
Well, remember, this one was just like the raising ground, like not the actual park. It was just like
it's like Hammond's not trying to open a park. He's really just doing it for observation. So.
I know, but still,
people will still die.
Exactly.
Well, remember, there weren't exactly plans to have people on this island except to extract the dinosaurs.
Why don't you just
that's Gabby's point.
That's my point.
This guy is so rich. Why doesn't he just get douse the island in sleeping gas, put all the dinosaurs to sleep, then do your observation stuff?
Well, you need to be awake to observe them, so they need evidence of this, so they can't just have them all sleeping.
Put them in cages or something. What?
Again, you can't observe them in the natural environment if they're
don't have them.
Yeah, because putting them in cages the first time around worked out so well.
Look, I'm in agreement. It's just a bad idea to bring dinosaurs back from the grave in itself. All right.
Exactly.
Here's the thing: it just still baffles me. You're right. Here's the thing: always baffles me with Jurassic Park. Like, if you're gonna bring dinosaurs back, that's one thing, but don't bring back the meat eaters. Don't bring back the carnivores.
Right.
And that's like one of those you have to have it to have the movie sort of things. And this movie just keeps expanding upon it
that I will say that is kind of a major plot hole with Jurassic World in particular.
No carnivores. Take the carnivore gene out of it. Something.
Especially with the Indominus Rex, Yeah,
you mean the most vicious killer of all? You can't just make
I don't want to talk about Jurassic World now. I really don't. Let's talk about another world.
But speaking of this, though, I just want to... Something I really do... Again, something I got to give the movie credit for. I do like, at least what they're going for here, is a sense of aftermath, that Hammond has changes too, and he's actually on Malcolm's initial side from the first movie, that, life finds a way, and that, I was wrong to just kind of try to turn into a park, just kind of make this kind of unnatural world.
Mm-hmm.
Where these dinosaurs are my responsibility, so I'm just going to make sure, they're not messed with, they're not interacted with, but just, I need to have people down to record, so basically they're not, so we can quarantine off the area, essentially.
Now, one of the other things with Ludlow that I thought was a missed opportunity was a scene that I caught rewatching it that I actually did enjoy, that I wish they would have developed a lot further, was, remember Ludlow's presentation on the San Diego park?
Yes.
I wish that the presence of the San Diego park would have been felt more throughout the movie.
I do like the idea behind the San Diego part. I like the idea.
But that's what I'm saying. It's a really cool idea, and if they had the presence of the San Diego park throughout the movie, I think it would take away the main disappointment that my 7-year-old self had about this movie, which was simply the fact that it wasn't a theme park. They took the theme park out of Jurassic Park. and the theme park is just sort of like this aftermath plot device. You know what I mean?
You know what that might be, Tiki? That might be because the third act change. That was a third act change. The whole going there, and I'm sure they might have worked it in earlier on once they figured out what they were going to do in third act, because it was a big change up. They were going to end it different. Maybe that's why that idea wasn't.
I mean, I'm not even saying you have to go there. I'm just saying I wish the idea of the park would have been seeded in a lot earlier.
Well, I'm saying, like, had they known that, they might have seen it in way earlier.
Right.
Yeah. But I really do like this. The idea these two guys have some sort of relationship, because they were really paired up together after Malcolm got injured in Jurassic Park. And it's saying, again, it's a really nice.
They had a really good arc with each other in the first movie, because remember, one of my favorite moments in the first movie is I really, really hate that man.
Yeah.
You do have dinosaurs in this dinosaur park, right?
Yep. Really hate that.
Well, now he gets to see his fair share of the dinosaurs.
Yep.
But I like that Wile, and this is the role. Here's where I think Malcolm works. I think he really works when he's like kind of this meta voice for the movie, where he's like pointing out how disastrous these ideas are. He says, "No, you're making all new mistakes." And just throughout the movie, when he does that sort of stuff, I think he's just on point to what he's always been intended to be, just kind of like the voice of the audience, and kind of the chaos theory guy. Like, yeah, he's the one who points out all the bad ideas, hence his value.
It's just when he's in that situation, but surrounded by idiots, it becomes super frustrating.
Exactly, and then it's this respect.
And my God, I cannot wait to talk about some of the stupid shit that goes down in this movie. Oh man!
But yeah, with Hammond here, I just love this last chance of redemption he's viewing this as. Just as he was going for redemption for he actually is haunted by the deaths of the people in Jurassic Park, like almost having his own grandchildren got hurt almost.
Sure.
And the fact that the nephew
could have gotten killed on that fence.
Well, absolutely, yeah. Well, technically he did. If the heart stopped. No, wait. Well, no, it wasn't.
He didn't die, but I'm saying that was a pretty serious injury.
Very true. Yes. I mean, obviously he's haunted a great deal by the actions. The first one, where like his nephew is, and his nephew's looking after the brand. He just found a way to kind of freeze Hammond out of the park. So now he's taken over, and he's trying to franchise it on his own, essentially.
Franchise the thing. Franchise.
So now here's a problem I found in the movies. We have two major problems with three, if you want to be technical, with the whole leading man thing. But I'm saying two character problems with Malcolm. We give him two elements of backstory that really just kind of like were thrown at us. The problem of giving Malcolm this new important girlfriend is quite the buy.
Yep.
Because we only get like one line of exposition from Hammond saying that, oh yes,
do you remember his attitude on women from the first movie?
I'm always looking for the future ex-Mrs. Malcolm.
Yep. Okay, and we're about to be introduced to the worst character in the movie. Are you guys ready? I'm not ready. I'm not fucking ready.
Okay, come on. Which one are you talking about here?
Kelly.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that's not yet.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Doughy Guy is amazing, all right?
Yeah. Wait, you're being facetious with that.
No, I actually really do like Doughy Guy.
Don't call him Doughy. It's Eddie. Don't call him Doughy Guy.
I'm calling him Doughy Guy out of affection because of the Nostalgia Critic review, all right? That is his name. His name is first name Doughy, last name Guy. He has an action figure. As we looked this up, he does have an action figure.
Earlier we were having this conversation about what characters we were apparently. Apparently Ezra was Doughy, man, and he gave me either Hammond's nephew or Kelly.
But then we decided that you were both of the T-Rexes.
Wait, who got Goldblum?
Oh, you got Goldblum.
I got Goldblum? All right.
Yeah.
Well, there's a reason behind that.
Because you talk our ear well. We love you.
And Gabby, Dragon,
you talk a lot, but we all love you.
Yeah, exactly. Just like Goldblum.
Just like Goldblum.
Gabby got
Sarah.
I just think I was defaulted because, female.
What character?
I got third. Gabby, that's not necessarily true because I remember one of my options was Kelly.
Yeah, that's true.
Who did Gabby get?
Speaking of which, this is like one of my least favorite kid characters in the history of kid characters.
Absolutely.
I hate this brat.
So the other thing I was speaking of with Goldblum is that while Malcolm has, again, there's this girlfriend that we're supposed to buy who we get one line that, okay, she met him while he was recovering from Jurassic Park in Costa Rica. She asked him questions. That's how they met each other. And here with Kelly, I like, there's one thing I do like about it, but it's nothing about the character. It's not about her as a character. There's no reason for her. I can buy the reason for it because he said he's always looking for the next, the next Mrs.
Sure, so it makes sense that he would have a kid, yeah.
The idea, he was played like a rock star. Essentially, he's kind of played like a rock star in the first movie. The idea of a rock star had various girlfriends and most likely fostered children.
Okay, I'm sorry, Dragon, really quick. Can we talk about how annoying this girl is with, like, come on, just ground me or something.
Essentially,
discipline me.
I think it's very simple. She's first season Barbara from Gotham.
Oh, God.
Because she wants in on the action, but she can't handle it all. Throughout the movie, she keeps saying...
That's perfect.
I'm not crazy with that, right? It's just, she keeps saying...
I'm sorry to Jacob and Ezra and Gabby, because they're not going to get that reference, but yeah, that is perfect.
The point is just this character he wants in, but again, he's told her about the dinosaurs and everything. It's like, it was terrifying. Like, I got knocked out by a T-Rex, essentially, and she's not taking away any of the life lessons from that.
And she's never going to be in the movie again, right, guys? We're never going to see her again. That was her one and only scene, right?
I just love the way you say that. You say that when you're just ready to bone
I want to answer that, but I can't remember.
Seriously, I do like Eddie, all right? Like, Eddie is a fun guy. He's a nice guy, all right?
This is what I'm talking about with the cast. They have a really winning cast. Richard Schiff plays this guy. He's going to be in the new Freddie Highmore show, but he's also been in a whole bunch of other stuff. He's a character actor. He's really good.
Yeah, he seems like the kind of face where it's like I've just seen his face on a lot of stuff.
He was in Man of Steel. He was Dr. Emil Hamilton, the scientist guy. He plays the scientist guy and the professor a lot in movies and television.
He's kind of typecast.
Yeah, but he's good at it. He's kind of the unofficial gadget guy of the team. He's sort of the he's.
I just don't do it, kid. Don't fucking do it.
Typecasting isn't always a negative thing. I'm just saying he's just kind of typecast.
Yeah, sure.
Honestly, if I was her, I would tag along.
Really? Why?
I would secretly tag along.
Why?
I mean, think about it.
They told me no, so damn it, I wouldn't do it.
Trust me, a lot of kids. I
want in on this suicide mission.
And a lot of kids love dinosaurs and don't understand the danger behind them either. So
Did anyone realize though that one of the islands is literally called the Isle of Death or the Island of Death?
Well, we kind of have that mentioned by the Spanish guy.
It's a really ugly boat.
Understood, but you literally read it and it says
it's not quite as majestic as the helicopter coming on the island in the first movie, right?
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Not quite as majestic as the fucking waterfall. And that's my problem with this whole movie. It's like we're gonna get to the Triceratops scene in a minute, which is essentially it's like the Brontosaurus scene but bad. You know, it's like it's trying to be the Brontosaurus scene, but it's just not the Brontosaurus scene.
And remember how the water was crystal blue in the last movie? Look at the color here.
Okay, well, to be fair, this is a different location.
Yeah.
This isn't the same
island. It's really unattractive, though.
I hear you.
One's a vacation destination, one's like the actual place where they're cultivated. So
you know what it reminds me of, guys?
It
reminds me of the color palette of current DC movies.
Oh, come on. They're getting away from that now.
So true.
You haven't seen Wonder Woman yet, have you? You haven't seen Wonder Woman yet, have you?
I have seen Wonder Woman.
Oh, he did.
I didn't really care for Wonder Woman all that much, to be honest with you.
Just to deviate from that. So this actor here, this is the barge captain here. He's a bunch of Spielberg's other films. He's actually been with them since it's Gino Silva. That's the actor's name. He's been with Spielberg since 1941. That goes back a long time in Spielberg.
Oh, wow.
He's just had these bit parts in each. I don't know if it's every consecutive film, but in a bunch of his movies. That's like a good presence about it. Good extra,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the five deaths. That's an intimidating name.
You know what it reminds me of? Have you guys seen Peter Jackson's King Kong?
Yes.
No.
Okay. All right, fine. Jacob, you remember the ridiculous Skull Island reveal?
Vaguely, I haven't seen it in years.
SKULL Island.
That
Anyways.
just sounds horrible.
It's like
Really
it's like
good.
this dramatic reveal of the fact that Skull Island is named Skull Island, and it's like Adrian Brody like typing out the words like in slow motion. It's just,
Oh my gosh.
I love the movie. That's a great movie.
wait for it.
Sarah.
Sarah.
I do love the follow-up line. How many Sarahs do you think are here?
Maybe there's some dinosaurs that named their children Sarah.
This is just like the drunken fucking clown that you get at the kid's birthday party instead of Robin Williams.
Well, frankly, Robin Williams is a clown. Quite frankly,
if Robin Williams is the Brontosaurus, then these guys are the drunken clowns. All
James Brontosaurus.
I like this whole scene is supposed to be all whimsical and whatnot, but it's just not.
It's not. It sucks.
Yeah.
And not.
The CG doesn't even look that good. It's obviously green screen.
Well, yeah. I mean, even with the first one, when they just looked over and they saw all of the, they just saw all the creatures and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing!" And now you see this and this movie. It's like, what the hell is this? No.
I do like this line from Goldblum though. Ooh, that's how it's starting with the oohing and the awing, but then there's running and screaming.
That's what I'm saying. That's where they're hitting the sweet spot with Golden, the meta stuff. They're pointing, this is a horrible idea. This is like it all starts off with wonder and then things go to crap.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that like the actual wonder of the movie should have been stronger.
Right. By the way, those Stegosauruses, they were fans wrote in letters after the first one, like, "Where's the Stegosauruses?" They were dying for Stegosauruses. That's why they put them in the movie, and I guess that's why they kind of sold them in that moment. It's like,
another species that was supposed to be in both 1 and 2 that didn't make it in until 3. Well, I guess technically there's a pterodactyl at the end of 2, but pterodactyls didn't really get their own set piece until 3.
Right. Because again, the whole
And then I will admit I do love that part. I love that part. I love part about 3. It's a bird cage.
I honestly think the Avery scene in 3 is like right up there with any scene in the original movie.
Oh, by the way, just with the Stegosauruses, originally they were practical, and Spielberg just kind of changed his mind on that. So you'll notice.
He shouldn't have. That was a bad idea, Steve.
Don't you mean Spielberg?
Right.
Spielberg.
Am I missing something?
Yes.
Okay,
anyway, so
here is where the movie the movie falls apart for me at this exact moment. It's the movie just becomes idiots talking over each other.
Sounds like us.
For the next 90 minutes, it's just going to be idiots talking over each other.
See, this is where they all just die. They should. Every time I'm watching a movie and someone's going to do something stupid, I'm like, they're going to die. They're just going to die. And then when they do die, it's like, see, I called it from the beginning.
I'll just play this. I have a very powerful suspension of disbelief, so that kind of saves me from. That I just have very low
at the very least. Actually, this dinosaur is a lot like this. Actually, looks exactly like the baby Stegosaurus from the Jurassic Park ride.
Oh, it kind of does, huh?
Yeah, it looks exactly like it.
Of course, this thing's amazing. Here is the way this looks. It's great.
And
again, I have no problems with like the vast majority of the effects. I admire that Spielberg used a lot of practical stuff in this movie.
Now, here's the technique, and here's the reason why they could just kind of they built the Stegosaurus and it was like fully built and everything. The reason they didn't use it and what they did going forward is that if you see like a wide shot, basically Spielberg didn't want to use the stop motion animatics on this time around, so you could have like more improvised shots or like ideas if you just wanted to have like. On the off chance that CG would have fit it better, he just wanted to make sure that, okay, well, we go wide for the shot so we can have, like, basically when the Stegosaurus is going to go wild. She can kind of duck around them and everything, versus like having a whole day plotted out of her like ducking under like animatronic tails and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Nikon, you've killed us all.
Well, you guys want to talk about the character of Sarah?
Yes, Sarah.
So I'm offended.
Would rather be Kelly?
All I can say about Sarah is that...
Yeah, run towards the angry dinosaurs. That's a good idea.
I
really not a good plan.
More, but this character is just too much.
I actually have two things about Sarah. One's a funny kind of like thing that was an homage to Sarah in animation. I've just kind of noticed when I was watching this, like, oh my god, they had to get it from here. Buzz Lightyear Star Command, they actually had Buzz Lightyear as his love interest, Dr. Ozma Furбana, who was voiced by Linda Hamilton, and it's basically they do a Jurassic Park, mainly Lost World parody. Basically, she's like she studies Jurassic bugs, like giant bug monsters and stuff, alien bug monsters, and she's very much like she's characterized very much like Julianne Moore in this movie as Sarah. Well, the funny thing there, and also with with Sarah, she's very hypocritical. Am I the only one noticing that? She keeps saying,
I just don't like her character at all. She's just an unpleasant person, just all around.
Which is why I'm offended.
Oh, jeez. Oh, Gabby's angry.
I'm just kidding.
But you have red hair just like her, Gabby.
I don't have red hair. My hair is blonde, bro. I haven't dyed it in a while.
We could always relegate you to Kelly.
It's red sometimes, though.
Gabby, we could always relegate you to Kelly.
Oh, God.
Oh,
no, I'm a dinosaur. Let me just be a dinosaur.
You could be the Stegosaurus.
Gabby, do you want to be the talking Velociraptor from Jurassic Park 3?
Oh, don't force me. You're always forcing that reference.
Alan.
No Alan Velociraptor.
Alan.
I said it.
Oh, that was so stupid. Oh my god!
But then seriously,
that moment in Jurassic Park 3 is like the equivalent of the Goldblum transition in this movie.
it's timed the same way, yes.
Right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Anyway, so with Sarah, she's super hypocritical because she's saying, "Hey, we're not supposed to interact yet again." She's going way up when she doesn't have to. She's petting the snout of this thing.
Yeah,
you're interacting.
All seem like assholes. Okay.
Well, we have this bit later.
Except Doughy Guy is the one person who's not an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like Vince Vaughn.
I cannot stand this movie.
Vince Vaughn was okay. It's kind of funny.
Vince Vaughn is fine. Like his performance is fine. I don't think Vince Vaughn is as annoying as Goldblum or Julianne Moore or Kelly. But I think Vince Vaughn makes some of the stupidest decisions in this movie.
Well, he makes one really reckless decision, which we'll get to. But
we'll get to that.
No, I'm thinking about it now, Tiki. Actually, you're right. Every decision. Yeah, I agree with you. I just kind of dawned.
Yeah, he makes a lot of dumb decisions.
Horrible. This movie's just horrible. The acting.
And it's like he's supposed to be John Hammond's secret weapon, who's like coming in to like, he's supposed to essentially be like the Robert Muldoon for this movie. Yeah,
we actually do have a far better Robert. Well, I mean better than the I'm saying in this better than the comparison to Vince Vaughn. They have a cool Robert Muldoon type in this movie.
I don't think he's that cool.
This movie's just horrible. I have nothing good. Nothing good. I'm just watching this with my head.
This kind of like just a great example of just why this movie fails. Again, it's just like jackasses bickering with each other.
I really hate the costumes here.
Agreed. Well, not only
like
that,
Doughy Guy's green jacket and the red.
It's like, what is it, like some kind of like Boy Scouts leaders? It's like, come on.
I hope Richard Schiff isn't watching this, so he's just going to be like, why do you keep calling me Doughy Guy? What the heck? Was I really that out of shape during the movie? Making him all feel...
I call him Doughy Guy as a term of endearment, okay?
Yeah, he's doing it out of love.
But honestly, I'm not having as much a problem with the team, with the exception, obviously, of Kelly.
And now Ezra's our Doughy Guy.
I mean,
are you calling me fat, Jacob?
Okay, by the way, this is something that's always bothered me. How the hell does Kelly get the fucking trailer this messy?
I know, right? Yeah, I mean,
fast. Look, I'm notorious for having a messy room, right? But I don't get it that messy that fast.
Yeah, I was just there for maybe like a couple hours.
It's ridiculous.
Unless Kelly has depression and anxiety, because I'm pretty sure there have been times my house looked like that.
But in the course of a couple hours, Gabby?
No, I mean,
That's
it'll be
what I'm
like,
saying.
over
That's
the
what I'm
time.
saying. It's like my house has looked like that because of depression and anxiety as well.
Right.
It's like she opened
every counter, every corner of this place is covered in garbage.
It's like she opened everything to see if she wanted to eat it, but then she didn't.
Oh
my gosh!
I really hate this kid. Why is Spielberg
She has sweet gymnastics moves, though, Dragon. She has sweet gymnastics moves.
Oh, don't hand me that.
If we were watching this without any sound and no closed captionings, I feel like people would be like, this movie is basically about people who just went to this island and these annoying people. Like, what the hell's going on?
This really ticks me off here, all this run around here with Kelsey. Basically, she can't take a hint and get out during the scene. Every time he tells her to get out, she doesn't leave. And then when we do this weird thing where then she's leaving.
Yeah, he's like, no, Kelly, don't go out. And this
again,
is where Goldblum starts to grate on my nerves too, man. It's like, God bless Goldblum.
And again,
but the character is just not written well in this
Agreed.
movie.
All of this is like it's Goldblum in that he's the lead in an action movie, which is completely not
right.
That's the thing. Like again, when he's doing the meta thing, it's like okay, that's classic Ian Malcolm. But then when he's doing this stuff, it's like okay, now he's Ian Malcolm, movie star.
And that's one of the reasons why I prefer Jurassic Park 3 to Jurassic Park 2, because I actually think the character arc for Alan Grant in 3 is a lot more satisfying than the one for Ian Malcolm in 2.
Helicopter.
It's the military! Run, E.T., run!
Again, Eddie's doing it for me. We're just saying, why are they saying another team? It's just
I like Eddie, okay? Eddie is like the one character that I have pretty much no problems with. He's fine all the way through.
See, I hate them all equally, so...
What's your
problem with Eddie?
You almost said Ezra.
Yeah, I almost said Ezra, I guess. Ezra, are you still there? Are you still with us, Ezra?
I'm still here, yeah.
I'm just checking. You haven't said anything more. I'm just checking.
Yeah, I'm just
change your name from SandyClaws to Doughy Guy.
Yeah, I'm wiping the sleep from my eyes.
You're not just Doughy Guy, you're a doughy sleepy guy.
Here's a cool. Here's a new character I thought was kind of neat in the movie. We got Roland here. This guy's a really good character actor. He's been in a bunch of movies. He's been Inception. He's been in The Town. He's been in actually James and John Pete. He was the guy who gave Charlie the weird like nightcrawling things.
My problem with this guy is that like he's basically Muldoon without any of the interesting character traits of Muldoon.
I would somewhat disagree with that, because again, I think he has. I just love the big game. He's he's kind of an obvious comparison.
That's the thing with this guy that kind of bothers me is that he's just sort of like he's a big game hunter, and he's a hunter, and that's all he is. That's his entire character.
I mean, we get some development with him when he's just right from the get go. He's saying, "Hey, look, I don't care about the money. Like, we just gotta get two things straight. I call the shots. You give us scotch when we do good, and the second most important one being like, hey, I don't need my pay as long as I get to take home the mail."
There you go. That's me right there, right in front of the truck.
Right.
I'm not this.
I mean, I just think that's some development for him. That kind of sets him apart. I mean, let's say it makes him overmolded, and I just think it gives him some character.
I think the CG in this scene is like literally some of like the brontosauruses look really good, but the other dinosaurs don't look as good.
Agreed.
It's so mixed.
Yes. Just so much hate.
Here's where we're introducing too many characters.
Oh God, yes. This is the part of the movie where I always just phased out as a kid.
Well, yeah. I mean, what the hell? This was not necessary. It was just.
I do like kind of.
This is a cool dinosaur, and I'm glad they introduced it, but they don't do jack shit with it.
Yeah, I'm just saying I like this is kind of a way to introduce some other species of dinosaur and give them a little backstory, like this cool one that does like the bone thing with the spine.
But like I said, we don't like it like we see it once and then it never comes back the whole movie.
Oh.
They set it up. They should have had some sort of payoff with this thing.
They're basically just trying to make it educational as well.
I guess. I don't know. Like what I'm trying to say is that with the original Jurassic Park, every dinosaur was set up and paid off. You know what I mean?
Yes. This is kind of a cool, like almost like Quentin in the seat when he's fishing for Jaws. Like kind of I like the design of this truck here. Like you have the the kind of the chairs on the outside of it.
Yeah. I do remember this was a really fun level in the Lost World Jurassic Park arcade game. I vividly remember that.
It's kind of a cool kind of introduction for our hunters versus our gatherers, just in terms of like kind of our guys researching them and our guys. Kind of
I do like how we get that classic sort of Spielbergian trope of like the
Spielbergian
Close Encounters where
Spielbergian.
Yeah. But we saw it in Close Encounters where our heroes in air quotes are on the cliff, and they're overlooking the bad government guys. Like that's something that, like I just feel like it's a very classic Spielberg thing.
Yeah.
Again, Raiders as well. Raiders is another great example of that. Okay, this shot looks really good.
I like the
CG is mixed. It's so mixed.
I think the nicknames are kind of this funny thing, really. Like the guys are going through all like the pages and pages of like what the actual extraneous names are for the dinosaurs. It's like Elvis, they want the Pompadour, Elvis with Friar Tuck. I mean that's again this seems really kind of really cool in many ways.
That's got to be really fun right there.
I'll give you this much. I think this is one of the better executed action sequences in the movie.
That's what I'm saying. Like this one's at least kind of a memorable introduction for these guys. There's one of my favorite guys right there is Peter Stormare. I love this actor, and he's many people remember him from Fargo. He's
the wood chipper guy.
Yes, the wood chipper guy from Fargo. I know him from he's been Prison Break. He's been on Arrow. He voiced Tiki. He was the voice of Dracula in that Batman Dracula thing we talked.
Okay,
about.
Right.
He's really a really good actor. I was really pleasantly surprised to see him here as Dieter Stark or Peter. I kind of like the dynamic, kind of the back and the thing they set up with him and Roland, that they have a respect for each other, and Roland gets really kind of hurt when he finds out his friend got killed.
Right.
Yeah, that's where I think we get some.
Like I think the problem with that is that there's too many characters here though, and so like, yeah, we get that thing with Roland, but it's just like there's so many characters being balanced around that it's not as emotional as it could have.
Correct me if I'm wrong. We don't really get to know his friend Ajay really that well either.
We really don't.
Like we don't know why Ajay was so special to him.
Mm-hmm.
Other like, oh, we're besties. And he died. I'm done.
I do kind of like this hippie guy.
Well, that hippie guy has an interesting story, Tiki. That hippie guy's an inside joke because
is he
they
really?
Here's the thing. They have a paleontologist on staff, or they have a Jack Warner, the paleontologist who consulted on the first film as well as this one. I presume just going forward in the rest of the films. So he basically gives them he assesses kind of the dinosaurs they're developing and stuff. And he has a rival, and that rival, that rival is made to look exactly like this guy. So later when they kill him off, it's a little. And what's so funny, the guy took it really well when he got killed. Just like, oh yeah, because they always had this debate about dinosaurs, basically T-Rexes being hunters or not, and basically he was killed in a hunting motion, so he won. So it was kind of a fun little like paleontological rivalry kind of on film.
So I like the setup with this. However, I just think it's so dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this guy is just antagonizing this dinosaur for no reason. He's like, oh, I'm going to make sure that I'm eaten later on in the movie.
Well, at least this one does get paid off.
You're right. As I said, it's a good example of setup and payoff, but it's also a good example of, like, just horrible decisions that people are making.
True. It's one of those...
And I will admit the effect. You just tell us like the shock that they just pulled it back. Like you could just tell based on the way it was shot. They just pulled a puppet back. That's about it.
Right.
It's one of those moments that just kind of shows the audience that these guys are definitely in the wrong. There's no respect at all for the dinosaurs.
Like I said, they're all going to die anyway.
Oh, of course.
That's just how it goes.
Yes.
This is the baby T-Rex, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, this is probably the best element of the whole movie is how the baby T-Rex is sewn throughout the movie.
Possibly the best looking animatronic, possibly.
Yeah, I wouldn't say
I'm saying
that.
in this movie. I'm not saying the whole thing. I'm saying
No, I'm just saying. I think the T-Rex animatronics, like the full-scale T-Rex animatronics, look incredible in this movie.
Well, this one's like head to toe. Like a lot of the other ones, like do have to do it in pieces. Like when you
No,
see
you're
head to toe.
right. You're right.
And it's actually
this is really impressive.
What's cool about this too, by the way, is when Vince Vaughn's carrying him later on, when Nick's carrying him on later on, he's actually radio controlled. It was a first for them to actually have like a radio controlled kind of thing in its own. So when it's moving left to right, it's not just like it's not pre-programmed. Like they're controlling it offset.
Mm-hmm. So. I don't know, like, I don't really get why our characters are just sort of, like, up on the cliff waiting around, and...
Spielberg likes that shot, darn it.
I know, but it's, like, it's late, like, hours have passed, and they're still up on the cliff, like, what the fuck are they doing? Are they
and
just,
they brought
like,
the girl
watching?
with them.
I always thought they followed them to a different cliffy area.
Oh, it might be. You might be right.
Well, they follow them to their base before they receive watching like in the
okay,
middle
fair
of the
enough.
hunt.
Fair enough.
Well, you know, there's like instead of all going in gun blazing, I thought it was just like, oh, there's like recon, like finding out what they're up to before they're attacked.
No, Jacob, you made a good point because I thought they were in the exact same spot that they were before. So yeah, I mean, as long as they actually went somewhere, that's fine.
And again, gathering intelligence versus kind of hunting and just kind of being super proactive.
Hunter and gatherer. Yep.
And here we get the reveal with Vince Vaughn scared that he is he was the plan. He was Hammond's plan B, I guess.
And yet he makes the worst decisions in the whole fucking movie.
And you know what bugs me?
He's definitely Hammond's pick. That's for sure.
Right. John Hammond's just like, I want the biggest idiot that I can find. Okay, this is probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie because this is exactly what I'm talking about with the Michael Eisner stuff.
Yeah, and again, I think they're somewhat aware of the well, not Michael Eisner, but I'm saying in Michael Eisner type is kind of a more corporate version of the
like a more corporate version of Disney who's still trying to be Disney.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm saying they're going for this.
I wish there was more development on the idea of the park.
Right. And here's my big problem with what Vince Vaughn's doing here is that the fact that
they basically turn into Dino PETA.
Well, it's not just that you're right. I'm saying they turn into the Dino PETA, but it's more the fact that like again, the most likely people are going to die in this scene. They're allowing that. We're going to kill these engine guys. At least it's going to be a lot of chaos is going to run in. And
they're smiling about it too. They're just like, oh, we're going to show them.
And it's just they're not really thinking it through. Like, well, we need
we're going to murder people just like Batfleck.
Batfleck didn't murder anybody.
Batfleck did not murder people? Yeah, he did, Jacob.
Okay.
I hit a really, really sore spot with Dragon right there. Dragon, are you okay?
I don't want to think about it.
God. But no, Dragon, I totally hear what you're saying. I mean, this is just like, there's got to be something better than this, It's just so reckless.
I can understand like maybe unleashing one, but again, like if anything, I can imagine but unleashing all of them at the same time because they need a distraction. I get that.
Like basically, maybe they could herd out like one, like do one by one,
Like, maybe basically what I'm saying is like somehow if they could like have one cause of distraction while the rest of them are like kind of like they turn the cage around or something to kind of guide the rest of them out. So it's the other way out.
Right.
And this is a cool practical thing here. Basically, in the obviously, sheer under the fire, that's CG, but like they actually have a giant thing on wheels with the Triceratops that's charging practically, and it's awesome.
Oh yeah, that's a really fun shot right there. And again, the effects are great.
Nice. Still jumping from the tree here.
It's just, again, this is our heroes, ladies and gentlemen. Our heroes are doing this.
And here's mistake number 2, rescuing the baby Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this leads to, like, the best sequence in the movie, but it's also the dumbest thing in the movie.
Yep. But again, that's one of those original movie things. Like, well, we need something we need to get here somehow.
I don't care, Dragon. I don't care. It's just dumb. Like, look, I get like wanting to free it, right? Like that's all fine and dandy.
Yeah.
But bringing it to the trailer, are you a fucking moron?
Well, it gets worse with Julianne Moore later on. Where she just doesn't realize, oh yeah, I have bait on me.
I know it gets worse. I know
it's like land jaws. The blood's not in the water; it's in the air. It's gonna come for me. But again, effects-wise, this is very impressive. This holding this thing just moving all about.
Julianne Moore's reaction should be, "What the fuck are you doing? Put that down! Put that down! No, do not take it with us."
He does have that reaction though. She just says, "What are you doing? Don't bring it with us."
Yeah, but she doesn't fight it very hard. She's just like, "Oh man, Dragon, that is such a Barbara delivery right there." Oh man, Ian's not gonna like this.
Yep. I gotta tell you, really good design on the inside of this RV thing.
It's a good location.
And I think again, I love how we have like these glass, windows and then the ceilings in there. So the payoff when the thing goes over the cliff. Good setup in certain respects too.
I hear you. The problem with this action scene is that it goes on forever. It wears out its welcome.
Hey, he's contacting. He's on the radio right now for you guys, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I want to make sure. I'm a little paranoid about the time. I think we're all.
Apparently, Eddie's voicing your guys'
radio right now.
Apparently, Eddie's voicing your guys' opinions here. What the hell was that?
Sorry, we don't have much to say, guys. It's just this movie sucks.
Exactly.
It speaks for itself.
I'm just so every time I see something that I just can't hold in anymore, I'm just like, this sucks. They're gonna die. This sucks. They should die.
Like by this point, we were on the edge of our seats with the first one. I haven't been on the edge of my seat.
Oh yeah, Sandy. By this point, we're at the motherfucking T-Rex in the first movie. And this is still, again, this is my problem with this movie, is that they're trying to replicate magic moments from the first movie.
Yeah, and Julianne Moore looks stupid. She looks absolutely ridiculous. I mean, look at the way she's acting. I mean, just her acting. And normally I actually like her in movies, but in this...
I agree.
She was really good in Hannibal.
She's good in
really good. Exactly, but this one is just like, what happened?
It's like the Natalie Portman in Attack of the Clones. It's
oh my gosh, yes!
Yeah, it is.
I'm just like so done with her. I'm so done with this movie, and we're literally only like 49 minutes in.
Yep.
It's like an hour and
not even halfway.
Oh my gosh.
Strap in.
I know. I'm just like, I'm ready to shoot the computer.
Okay, Malcolm should be taking Kelly out. Okay, this is the best moment from Kelly, all right? This is the one moment from Kelly where I'll give her a pass, where she's just like, Dad, I want to get out of here. I want to go somewhere safe. Please, Dad, please.
Again, that's hitting on the barber thing, where it's just like, again, kid, this is what you bargained for.
No, I like that moment from her because it's actual good instinct, unlike any of the other fucking idiots on the
right. Fucking... Good instinct, but again, if you should have thought about all this...
Look at these. They are so... Oh, God.
Yeah, let's go on the outside where there's tons of these things that are ready to kill us.
Malcolm should not be this calm. He should not be this calm. And Malcolm should know exactly how bad this is.
I know.
This, to me, seems like a horrible idea, though.
Well, of course it's a horrible idea.
I know there's a lot of horrible ideas. I'm being specific.
It's a horrible idea. What's wrong with you?
It's a string of horrible ideas. That's the movie. I'm saying this one horrible idea.
The little girl is the only logical person here.
I'm saying when the girls put in like the lift thing, and kind of this makeshift elevator, like that's a horrible idea.
It is a horrible idea. You're right. You're right. Because if a T-Rex comes anywhere near that thing, odds are that thing's coming down.
But I'm saying it's falls to your death.
Alone. At the beginning of the movie, he should have said, "Hey, look, I have a second island," and he should bye, bitch. All right, I know how this goes. Okay.
No, you don't have to do that. But like, crap,
nuke the island. Just nuke it.
Exactly.
Plenty of fish in the sea.
We don't need dinosaurs anymore. Okay, we had them. They're gone for a reason. Bye.
That's it. To be fair, with the sequence that's coming up, with the exception of technically one scene in Jurassic Park 3, if I'm right, all the Tyrannosaurus stuff has always been really solid in the Jurassic Park franchise. Am I right, Tiki? Have we ever had a bad
part, yeah.
Tyrannosaurus Rex scene, with the exception of like the unnecessary, well, kind of the going for shock value death in 3?
Nope, not really.
There you go. Little thing put out there. It's all.
I mean, even the brief appearance they make in Jurassic World is fucking badass.
That's what I'm saying. They always again. That's where their selling point for these movies. They always want to make sure that.
At the same time, no good even though it's a good T-Rex scene, it does not mean that it makes it like it saves the movie. This movie is not salvageable.
I'm looking for a light in the darkness, lady. I'm not looking.
This movie is not savable. It's gone. It was gone the moment it started. They really should not have put this together. They really.
I'm treading water with a remote, lady.
It seems like at this point Spielberg would know when a movie is going to be good or bad. And it's just like, how do you continue making this?
Well, again, and he knew, and he kind of recognized as well as making the movies. He just lived for these sorts of sequences, but he just knew the whole thing was kind of doomed at a certain point. Well, not doomed, but he just knew it wasn't go. It wasn't. He wasn't interested in the whole thing. It wasn't good from start. It wasn't engaging to him start to finish. He was making an action movie.
That doesn't explain why he made The Terminal then.
Hey.
I think this is a better movie than The Terminal.
Oh, come on!
I
really?
Yeah.
Coming from you?
Yeah.
After all the hatred for this movie, you're still gonna go.
I really don't.
Hate for this movie.
I really don't like the Catherine Zeta-Jones is fucking terrible in The Terminal.
I'll agree.
Yes,
with
but she
that.
doesn't do gymnastics.
So.
Okay, this stuff is cool. This set piece is really well done.
Yeah,
and
I like
where
this part.
Spielberg is on top of his game.
That's what I'm saying. He's living for these sequences. Like, this is the third act. That's the stuff he's living for making this movie. That's like the stuff he was excited going into this movie. Where then he kind of realized that filling in, in between these sequences, that's really he's just doing he's filling in an action movie. It was like, well, yeah, it's just kind of by the number, paint by numbers type stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
Thing is, maybe he's just becoming aware of the failings of the Jurassic Park concept. Well, yeah, then we have to have people make stupid decisions, just kind of going overboard with it in places, maybe.
Mommy is very angry.
Yeah. That was a scene that was in the trailer.
Yep.
Well, it is a trailer line. It is really cool.
That is a great trailer line. Oh, okay. This is probably the best moment in the whole film right
now.
here.
That gives me chills, honestly.
It's so good. It's so, nothing can... Gabby, even you have to admit this is pretty fucking great, right?
No, I do. Well, and honestly, just to be blunt with you, I mean, this movie is way better than The Terminal. 2 times better.
God.
Come on!
It really is. Come on. You really... Come on, Dragon. You have to get out of the denial. You know it's true. The Terminal was a horrible movie.
Okay, now you're going too far with that. Come on. It is not...
Okay, this is what I'm saying, though. These animatronics look absolutely amazing.
Oh,
they
yeah,
do.
totally.
They
No,
do.
This scene is actually the best
Yeah.
scene. I mean, it totally does not save the movie by any means, but it's, literally the best part.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta remember, this is kind of stating the obvious. You gotta remember, this scene was really hard to shoot, because in the first time they did a T-Rex scene in the rain, in the first movie, that was just him kind of rolling the dice on, because they never... Though they had the animatronics would react to rain, it didn't react well because they had to keep toweling it off. They had beating with towels and keeping it dry.
It's kind of like a reoccurring thing with Spielberg, right?
Yeah, and I think the solution was, if I'm right, they didn't really go into it, but it was that basically they built a full Tyrannosaurus in the first movie, and that's why they had a lot of problems, full range of movement. So here, they built portions of the T-Rex, basically kind of
that's correct.
Head to shoulders, essentially, with a little bit of arms here and there.
And in addition to this, I also like the chase scene later where they're chasing them through the wilderness. I do like that scene.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, as Dragon said, there's no bad T-Rex scenes.
Right.
Oh, and speaking of which, just an obligatory, I'm a motherfucking T-Rex! I'm a motherfucking T-Rex!
Hey guys, look, it's me. Both of me.
It's me. Bitches love T-Rexes.
There's lots of me.
So funny.
Bitches love... I'm a T-Rex. Bitches love T-Rexes. Yeah.
I do not like the noises, though.
Why
I don't
don't you
like
get a
the
bumper
sounds.
sticker of that?
Okay, what?
Does
They're
the
really
thing.
lucky that that fucking like thing did not get tipped over, as Draken pointed out.
Yep.
I use plain, simple English.
Like they should have kept the baby in there, like so that other T-Rexes wouldn't like kill them.
Yeah, leverage. They need leverage, man.
Exactly. Because now they're just out in the open. They don't.
I do like the idea that basically after they retrieve the baby, it's like obviously this isn't going to smooth things over. So basically now it stresses the immediacy if they have to get off this island, because now anything anything human is going to look dangerous to them. So
Now
they're
they're
going to
gonna
attack it.
die.
Yes.
Honestly, though, if everyone died at this point, I would not be upset. I would not feel bad. I'd be like, that's what you guys get, okay?
And that would mean that Joey guy would get to live.
Again, Goldblum knows this is a horrible idea. He wants to get off this. He wants to get out of this movie as fast as possible. That's his. He's not really making bad decisions. Everyone else is really making bad decisions.
No, he's not making bad decisions, but as you said, it's just everyone else is making terrible decisions.
Again, except for Eddie.
It's pretty interesting how the T-Rexes are smart enough, like, oh, this thing moves. Let's just push it off this conveniently placed cliff.
Right.
Oh, now, this is really cool how they shot this. See, this cliff, like, especially when they're hanging on the outside. Oh, first of all, this glass thing is so awesome. This is a cool idea. This precarious kind of... It's kind of the most Hitchcockian Spielberg gets in this movie, because he always loves kind of the tense Hitchcock stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
And I love the idea that the satellite phone, which has confounded Malcolm for this whole film, is the undoing of this glass here. I just love this. It's the satellite phone. But yeah, just this great tense, like, this very super precarious situation. The satellite phone just kind of does it all. But yeah, basically when they're hanging on the outside, they actually shot this. They redressed the outside of the parking garage, so they're actually shooting off the side of like a big parking.
Oh
garage.
Wow! Okay.
It has a blue screen at the bottom, so it looks like it's an endless drop. It's like the side of it looks exactly like the side of the cliff, and they're hanging the RV off of it.
And I do remember seeing a special feature of this. They actually painted a lot of the cracks in CGI, like to make it look more convincing, and obviously so they don't put Julianne Moore in danger.
Certainly.
But still, I will go with you guys on this. Like, they did like common sense in putting that trailer on the edge of a cliff. Like, gee, there's giant dinosaurs with immense strength around here. Maybe putting it near a cliff is not a good idea.
Yeah.
Whoever parked it should just really not get their.
They're not getting their deposit. They're not getting their deposit back. That's for sure.
Yep.
It's fun.
Darn you, satellite phone! Yeah, and remarkable design on that cliff size, given it was just kind of built from scratch on the side there.
And this is going to try. Thinking you guys are replicating this, is kind of replicating Lexi falling into the Velociraptor thing in the first movie.
A little, yeah.
A little, I can see that. It also sort of reminds me of the aftermath of the T-Rex scene with Tim and Alan in the tree and the Jeep falling down.
Maybe that's. I don't know if that's what they're going for, but I do see your similarities.
Oh, here comes the doughy death.
The doughy death.
And this to me, this is kind of one of those, like, I like it's a heroic sacrifice in a way.
It is. It's definitely the reason why this guy is. He's definitely a good character. I think he's by far the least offensive of the.
I love that Goldblum's really offended when they're trying to kind of brush off his death, and he's like, "Hey, that man gave his life for ours." And that was a great.
I hear you. Right.
And I got to tell you, what's so impressive, I had no idea I was like really getting into the making of, but his death is actually, obviously, except when he's actually eaten, but everything leading up to it, that's all practically done. He's actually being tossed around by the animatronics.
Wow.
They have like a guy in a harness, and they're tossing.
Not even a stunt person.
Well, I'm saying it's a stunt person. I'm just saying, it's like just an actual person being tossed around like that. I mean, it could have been. I doubt it was him. I'm saying they tested out with the stunt guys. They probably still use a stunt guy.
He's like the Tom Cruise of performance actors, of character actors.
R.I.P. stunt guy.
Yep.
Doughy guy. He will be missed.
More like R.I. pieces of stunt guy.
Yes.
So, what do you guys think of this whole conceit to get the wire through the trailer?
I'd buy it enough.
That's how I feel.
What, Gabby?
I said this movie just should not have been made. I just like I told you before we started this. I have so much hate towards this movie that nothing I say will be positive, except for maybe the T-Rex part. That part was positive, but other than that, hell
I
nah.
think the T-Rex part like ends too quickly too. It's like they show up. It's really suspenseful. It's just like, oh, let's just give him the baby. You know, it's like they don't really do anything with it, and then this whole thing with them hanging off the side of the cliff goes on too long, I think.
I agree. So then you're basically having a heart attack forever.
Right, exactly.
So it's like, God, just make it stop.
And it's like, we know that they're not going to die. I mean, you know, it's like, we know that at the very least, Malcolm and Sarah aren't going to die.
It's Sarah.
And Sarah.
Oh.
And here's the thing, they shouldn't have done like kind of the falling on the outside of the thing twice. You know, they shouldn't have done that a second time.
Well, I mean, that is obviously a Nedry reference.
Dead.
Right.
The only way they would have made it funny is if, like in the first movie, they had like a slide whistle to it.
That's great.
You know, because like you remember in the first one when Nedry died, they added like a slide whistle effect to when he.
Yep, they did. They did.
So
Nedry's death was so good in the first movie.
So if they did it here, they would just completed the whole Nedry thing.
Then they
Doughy Guy is like the good version of Nedry.
The heroic Nedry.
Yeah.
You're actually a good character.
And compared to Nedry, he's actually totally in shape.
Yes.
Yep.
Like,
Nedry was the real.
Compared to Nedry, he's Steve fucking Rogers.
I get it.
Nedry's the real Doughy Guy of the franchise.
Yeah, he is.
Right. You know, the pills are a dope boy of the franchise.
Yes.
You didn't say the magic words.
Eating this Barbasol, even though I probably shouldn't be eating the Barbasol.
Oh my god.
And here's the death. Here's just poor guy.
Well, this movie needs a Samuel L. Jackson to save them again.
Oh god. It's like Samuel L. Jackson. No, he died. He died in the first movie.
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's just these.
Well,
Unless you go by the how it should have ended ending.
You can't expect to pull those things up with that little Jeep. Come on.
Dragging the how it should have ended ending. You're talking about like, oh, you just assume because a black guy's arm fell down that I'm the one black man on this island.
Yeah.
Why are you talking like that?
So how it should have ended.
Samuel L. Jackson.
And again, this scene goes on forever. Forever.
See, again, they fell again. They keep falling like this. That's what I'm saying. It's like the third time.
Exactly. This is why the movie sucks.
It's exhausting. It's like, stop it. Just get on with it. I mean,
I will say, had they
have
not...
characters dangling off of the side of a cliff, and I'm bored.
But again, the T-Rex has come back.
Oh no, Doughy Guy, no!
Not the Doughy Guy.
Oh.
I am kind of sad here because Doughy Guy is like the one character who makes this group tolerable, and then after this group just becomes a fucking nightmare.
You know what really is? He's the only one who knew what he was doing in the entire movie.
Yeah, exactly. He was the only competent one.
And again, this toss up here, that's it's about to happen. It's gonna be all it's like a harness he's wearing. It's all.
And they even are looking at the whole the eye dilating scene too.
Yeah. They really hate that car.
I love how he's still trying to help them, even though he's facing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And very heroic. There we go. Oh my god.
Seatbelts save lives. Bucky
right here
every time. Remember, seatbelts save lives. Even in a
Right, you might be a little bit ahead of me because I still haven't gone to it.
Well,
yet.
I'm sorry.
Right there.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, that's a real guy.
No.
Well, I'm saying the part where they actually dig into him, that's CG.
Oh, okay,
So when they're like kind of playing with him a little bit before that's real.
I know. I was about to say like, holy shit.
That was a little fortuitous.
Rest in pieces. Rest in pieces.
I love how the trailer just explodes. Just giant explosion. And
I gotta say, had they not dragged it out so long, I mean, I like kind of the idea of like, are the guy who we thought was going to save him, he gets killed. Then you're thinking, how the heck are they saved? And then we reveal, okay, it was the engine guys. But again, I think they kept that series going on too long before we were so distracting, but they're kind of beaten down by how long it went on.
Yeah. And that is one of the things I do very much blame Spielberg for. Spielberg very much could have tidied up the editing in that scene, and it would have been a lot better.
Yep. And what do you think about the reluctant team up here? Just they have to kind of pull the resources to get off the island.
I don't mind it, but at the same time, at this point in the movie, all the characters just blend together.
Would you say, had they kind of thinned out the herd and done this earlier, would the too many characters problem been solved? Had we killed off people like in a certain?
Yeah, I think they should have killed off more people than Doughy Guy.
They should have killed everybody off. Oh my god!
Good old Peter's still there.
There's too many engine people. And then our main characters aren't even likable, so it's just a mess.
Well, good news, guys. We're more than halfway through.
Oh, thank God. Barely. We still have an hour.
I don't like that hippie. I really don't.
I don't either. I don't like any of them, though.
I think the hippie's supposed to be
Gabby, please, don't hold back. Tell us how you really feel.
Oh, I've got more, sweetheart.
Like I said, and I won't hold back either. Still better than the Terminal.
It's way better than the Terminal. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm gonna coin a quote from the first movie. I really hate that man.
Do you guys know why this movie is better than the Terminal?
Oh, come on!
Because things actually happen in this
Oh
movie.
my gosh, yes, the Terminal was just like, what is this shit?
Mundane things happen in the Terminal.
The whole time I was watching that movie, I was like, what exactly is going on?
There's
What
better
is supposed
mundane
to happen?
There's better mundane things that happen in other movies.
Oh, it's just a bad movie.
But enough about the Terminal. I won't rag on it anymore.
Like, I don't even know who this guy is.
Yeah.
Or that guy. Or, like, I don't know who he is, because he's a hippie I hate, but I don't know who anyone else is.
The hippie is like the one guy who like stands out just because he's got a unique design to the rest of them. The rest of the engine guys are honestly just interchangeable avatars.
Like here's the thing I like in concept, less in execution because again it's like too many characters. But in concept, what they're going for here is that we have like basically a reflection of our good team, and that it's kind of a few guys who have like really set purposes. Like Burke, the hippie guy, he's the answer to Sarah because he's the dinosaur expert. He's the paleontologist.
Right.
That's, I mean, they each have kind of like it's a team like some set purposes. Like you have your hunter and you kind of second in command. Of course, the problem with engines is they have way too many guys. We have like the useless kind of guy listening to music later on who really shouldn't be on this team. Like that guy and everyone else in the engine team seems really incompetent, especially later on when they get woken up in the middle of the night, which you'll see. It's really bad.
Yep.
Now I do like this bit here. We kind of while they're walking here, like we have two little scenes, and I like these exchanges of like Vince Vaughn kind of buddying up to Roland coming up, right here where they're having a little gum exchange.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's Nick, the Vince Vaughn character. He's kind of gauging what this guy's all about to see if how much of a threat he is, and Roland's just kind of like having some cool lines, I guess. Yeah, basically just like the whole I people said the same thing about Matt Evers.
You seem like you have common sense. Does anybody in this movie have common sense?
Nope.
I mean,
Doughy guy had common sense.
If they had common sense, they wouldn't be on the island.
I'm still liking this movie, but I still
Joey
won't.
guy is dead.
I'm still liking this movie, guys. I'm still liking this movie, guys. But I'm just saying, I will agree at the end of common sense.
I agree with Sandy. If they had freaking common sense, they would have been like, "What? An island? Nope."
Screw that.
Bye.
Speaking of common sense, we have Goldblum here just kind of pointing out some common sense. Like, again, this guy's brilliant idea is really not so brilliant. Just kind of taking some digs into the. Oh yeah, again, this kind of like the eyes and everything hit on just the touch, like a very like like a ding almost. Like, oh yeah, you think you're Walt, but you're really not.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I like the idea of that character.
Yeah.
I like him saying that, but we don't have any indication of him, like, trying to be Hammond and failing at it, other than the one scene I mentioned. I wish there was more of it. Honestly, I think this guy should have been the face of Engine, and literally every other character should have been cut.
I agree. They should have been the face.
Every other character in Engine should have been a red shirt.
He should have been the face of Engine. Yes.
I do like how that line does come back later in the movie. So like, now you're John Hammond.
Yeah, I love that payoff.
That is a good payoff. I'll agree.
Okay, now here's the stupid blood thing. Oh boy. The thing I like about this is that I like that Roland kind of sees a possible. Oh, right. Sorry, they don't do anything with it, but there was a possibility here that if he just saw it, the way the guy's acting in the scene, really Roland's acting, is that he could use the jacket to lure the T-Rex. Unfortunately, that doesn't come to pass. But wouldn't that have been kind of a neat way to go about it?
I guess.
But it just kind of happens, like, she just like stupidly leaves her bloody coat out that just lures the T-Rex to camp. Imagine if he stole that coat from her when she wasn't looking for something. He used that to bait the T-Rex so he could capture it.
I mean, that's kind of like they do use the bait thing early on, like later on in the movie, so it's kind of.
They're just stupid. That's the deal. They're ignorant.
Yeah, so they're not going to do anything that's smart.
Exactly.
I do like there was a little subtle thing that Vince Vaughn does. Now he's looking at the gun. We kind of know. Okay, now later on the cartridge, the tranquilizers are gone. So it's like him looking at that gun. There's like a little subtle setup for that. It's kind of neat. Here's headphone guy. Headphone guy really is stupid. And
I think we can agree that everyone in this movie is stupid on some level,
except
yes.
Yeah, except for Eddie.
Well, Eddie's dead.
I was just going to say Eddie's dead.
Well, he is. Yeah, I was saying, looking at the whole movie, he was the one.
But if he was smarter, he wouldn't be dead because he wouldn't be there.
I gotta say though, so with the mayor here, but this funny story that Spielberg killed him off because it was sort of like it was like it's an inside joke that this is like this is for what he did in Fargo. That he's getting killed because of all the stuff he did in Fargo.
God.
And the wood chipper thing, he killed people brutally.
Dead.
Got rid of their bodies.
Scared by a compy.
I do like the compy demise here. I like how we see the true danger of the compies. Basically, we get to see what happens to the little girl. Well, again, it's once seen its full glory, because it'd be really technically hard to do. But it's just this thing where basically they keep swarming. I just love I know an argument can be made that goes on too long. I just love the idea that it keeps coming at him every time he's walked away.
It goes on too long, like a lot of other things in this movie.
Yes.
But regardless, just the idea of like he keeps thinking he's scared him off, and they keep coming back. I mean, you're right. Could have been trimmed down. This
guy is probably the most stupid one out of all of them. I really feel like he is just so stupid out of all of them. I really do. I mean, honestly,
he's somewhat fun stupid. That this guy's gonna get it. I'm saying it's a question of when just finally seeing the comeuppance.
It's kind of a relief that he dies, though, because it's like, all right, now you can't be stupid anymore. Really.
It's like, how is that guy just so chill listening to his Mexican music in the middle of
his
godforsaken jungle?
Do we know what he's listening to that? I forgot.
It's at least like Latino music or something.
It's Hispanic. I think
it's kind of like the music that's playing at the restaurant that like Nedry is at in the beginning of the first movie.
Sounds somewhat mariachi, but I don't know. There's so many different.
We got Dodson here.
Exactly.
See, bye. Bye.
I think a lot of this copy stuff. You're right. They could just like taken a few of these, but the copy stuff's really well shot. And this is like a practical thing he does here. This is all CG except for the one he grabs, and they're all. It's not animatronic. It's like a rubber puppet he's grabbing.
Oh, wow.
I'm glad. This dude should not have been there at all.
Yeah, he had to move it to make it bite his lip like that.
Admittedly, that would be very painful.
I guess the one justification for it going on so long is like it would be a very slow death.
I know that's what jazzed me out of my mind about it. Yeah, it's like the blood thing at the end. Like, it's gratuitous, but it's like it's kind of deserved for like how just shocked the crap out of the thing early on.
But I just think it goes on like one beat too long.
Yeah,
it really does.
Yeah, you're right.
And turn around.
Like, okay, he's walking away, and then they just come back and.
Like, it should have been
They're
probably
like
the same
from
length as...
Mario Brothers.
It should have been the length of the Nedry death.
Yeah, exactly.
He should have just
Exactly. That's a perfect example,
Like,
Dragon. This totally should have been the Nedry death of this movie.
Usually, yeah, exactly. Like, usually, like, how does this character make any difference to the story? Why are they focusing so much on his?
Oh my gosh, he should have just died already.
Like, I think it's just purely because like they're going for like a memorable death from them. That's why he's like they kind of
Like, you remember the stupid guy? Yeah, he died in a stupid way.
Well, no, he died
Because he was
in a cool way.
freaking stupid.
Yeah, but he died because he was stupid. See, it
Yeah.
makes sense.
And died because he was stupid. Doesn't mean he died.
I want to know what this dude's listening to, though. It sounds catchy as hell. It does. I can't tell it. It's not. I don't think it's ranchera, but honestly, it sounds great.
He's just
I want what he's
on it, man. He's having a time of his life.
like honestly, cutting away and then cutting back to him, that was definitely a mistake. We just could have stuck with him.
Yeah, for sure.
Like he is attacked, he walks off a little, he looks back, and basically maybe just the first time he's attacked, he walks off. Then we cut to this scene, which would take us to the end.
See, they should have just killed him off, though. This right here is wasting like a good 5 minutes, where they could have put something really great in it, but they didn't.
Those 5 minutes really would have saved the movie. Yes.
Like for reals, this movie's just such a disappointment.
That's got to be a really slow death. I feel bad for that guy.
I don't.
Yep.
And he gets up again.
I feel bad because he's so stupid.
This is ridiculous. Like he should have. What it should have been is it should have been them like getting up on him, getting up once, and then them bouncing up on him and just overpowering him. That's what it should have been.
Exactly. That should have been it. Not this whole. All right, get up, go back. Get up, go back. Throw some rocks.
Like
get up, go back.
It's like a Daffy Duck cartoon.
I agree.
Oh God.
Anyways, all these Indian guys, basically, like kind of the interesting one who had kind of the death against, at least a somewhat memorable death. He's now gone. Now the rest of these Indian guys are just like dumb lackeys now.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
And here's my biggest
red shirts. They're a whole bunch of red shirts.
Yes, there are a bunch of red shirts, but here's the thing that makes them incompetent in red shirts, Tiki, is that later on, when that camp scene, basically one of them just wakes up in the middle of the night, just screams bloody murder when the bloody shirt kind of lures the Tyrannosaurus Rex, and basically he screams, because here's the thing that bugs me, none of them read up on how these dinosaurs work at all, because again, only that one guy, when they're hunting, it has like the names in the file and everything, so the rest of them just don't know. They didn't read up and like, okay, what did we learn from the first movie? Movement and heat signatures tracks the Tyrannosaurus.
Oh God.
Also, let's not call out in the middle like this is the beginning of the scene, but it's gonna go on like that's all chaos breaking loose.
Jacob, how do you feel about this scene?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Which one?
This scene right now, the one we're watching.
The camp scene?
Yeah.
What do you think about what's happened so far? The death and how long it's taken?
And what's going on now? I mean, what do you think about it?
Like I said, I'm still saying this is the. Like I said, I will say this is on the lower tier for me. I will admit that. Definitely the worst Spielberg directed of the bunch.
Understood.
I mean, this scene does probably go on a bit long, but I mean, I haven't seen this movie in years.
Right. No, I have not seen this movie in forever, and I know why.
This movie keeps playing on AMC, and I always watch it with my dad, and I always have that fucking same experience where it's like, maybe I'll fucking like it this time. Maybe I'll see something in it that I didn't see before.
There's some masochistic tendencies.
Dragon, it's just like it's Phantom Menacing me over and over and over again.
I understand.
This movie is like my lifelong Phantom Menace. Because I want to like this movie so much.
This girl just isn't cleanly. She just eats half the food and just leaves it around.
You guys know what I'm saying? It's like I want to, like I love the first movie with all my heart.
Oh, of course, same.
And this movie stars the best character from the first movie. It's directed by Steven Spielberg. By all intents and purposes, it has all the ingredients to be another fucking great sequel. It has the possibility of being like a Back to the Future 2.
Oh my gosh, yes, and there are so many people that really just hate on Back to the Future too, and I'm like, what
that
are
is
you
unnecessary.
talking about? That's one of
Come
the best
Those
ones.
people were-
I honestly
Back
see
to
more
the Future
people
2 is-
dislike Back to. I honestly see more people dislike Back to the Future 3.
No, I've seen them hate number 2. Everyone's
I
like,
like
oh
all
no,
of
2
them.
sucks. I like all of them, but I don't like 3.
I
don't
enjoy
like
all.
either.
Three,
like
still,
all-
three does not live up to the bar that the first
3,
two set.
my
but
problem with 3
I
is
still
that
enjoy
it's,
them.
like it. Anyways, we shouldn't.
Call me crazy. I think we're getting a little sidetracked.
You want to talk about sidetracked?
All right.
All I'm trying to say is this movie had all the ingredients to be a fucking killer sequel.
It really did, and
And-
the
And
first one is
that's why this movie is like the lifelong Phantom Menace for me. Like that feeling of disappointment and wanting to like this movie will never go away for me.
I do like the shadow work in this scene. And of course, again, every scene with Tyrannosaurus is kind of cool. With the exception of the other side of the Tyrannosaurus in this scene is not so good because she's just leaving it out in the open like this. But just realizing her idiocy in the scene, like, oh god, I left the bloody thing just hanging there over our heads. We're gonna die.
Right.
Without again, just look at the look on Julianne Moore's face. Like,
That's such a
I
cool
screwed up.
animatronic,
We're
though.
so dead. I'm sorry,
Again,
little
again.
girl.
kind
I
of
killed
cute
you."
though.
The
He's got a
one
cute face.
the one
It
the one thing I like about this movie is I like looking at the animatronics.
Right,
Like
that's
this movie is
exactly-
basically
yes.
a tech showcase for animatronics, and that's
Yes.
it.
I
It's
honestly
basically a
love
Stan
it.
Winston Studios tech demo. That's all this movie's good for.
Hey Kelly, you got your dinosaurs.
Billy's doing a really good
Don't
job.
cry, be happy.
Oh God. Yeah, see, Dragon, embrace the hatred.
And there's that stupid guy who just shouts. Don't move. No one's listening to the one next to me. He's like, hey, guys, I've been through this before. No one listen to me.
Oh my
Don't
God.
move,
Dragon,
don't
I've never even
move.
picked up on how ridiculous that moment is until you pointed it out. Thank you.
Just gets up, and they all panic. It's the same headphone. It's headphone guy.
Yeah, it is headphone guy.
I was about to say it's definitely headphone guy.
Okay, I will admit this is probably the most consistent set piece in the film. Like this set piece goes on for a while, but it's really good all the way through, I think.
I mean,
I do love some of the.
This is definitely another scene that they heavily advertised in the trailers.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
We do
because it's a damn good sequence.
We do get some really cool deaths here, like when the guy gets trampled and he gets like gum on the bottom of the shoe here.
Right.
I just like the animatronics. I mean,
Yeah, another
the best part.
one interesting fact. You know the whole Tyrannosaurus sticking his tongue into the waterfall sequence. That's actually from the first book. Another scene adapted from the first book.
Uh-huh.
Just a-
Okay, I will say one thing though. The score throughout the whole freaking movie, like the music, I was not into at all. Like I felt like it could have been so much better.
There's this only really one memorable part with the score in this movie. It's really small. It's just this bit where we bring back the theme when we go to the San Diego park.
Uh-huh.
That's kind of a nice bit right there. It's like, hey, it's a little throwback. It's kind of nice.
The music is just really lame. It could have been
It's
so much
generic. It's just kind of like
Yeah, just generic. not lame,
it
but
feels
it's
like the
just-
outtakes to the original score. You know what I mean?
Agreed. Yes.
Like, here's the temp track to Jurassic Park.
Yeah, exactly.
Before we add all the whimsy to it.
It could have been better.
You hit the whimsy button. Da-da-da-da, and right now it's just dun-dun-dun-dun.
I think you hit it on the head, Dragon. That's perfect. That's a perfect way to describe it.
This
But
is a great-
again, those animatronics, though.
yeah, T-Rex head though.
And again, there's Burke's death. And again, that's the little tribute to the paleontologist. He's killing paleontologist Robert Baker in that scene, symbolically.
Does it bother you guys that a snake randomly shows up?
It does come out of left field. It's noticeable.
Yeah, that's always bothered me. I like the blood in the waterfall. That's a nice touch.
And if I'm right, you'll notice. I'm sorry, go on.
what I like, and one thing I remember from the special features, that like they actually rigged the waterfall to like run red at the press of a button.
Oh, nice, nice.
You know what's funny? That the snake that went down his shirt, if I'm right, just based on the pattern of it, something that's like in if you use like in a television show, there's points when you shoot with like kind of non-poisonous snakes, a lot of the times they are that color, they're that kind of that striped color. That's kind of the color of a safe snake to use.
I'm sorry, I just want to dwell on just a little bit longer. Like the whole movie is about fucking dinosaurs and shit, and then a snake just out of nowhere. Okay, this is the best shot in the whole movie, I think. The raptors approaching in the tall grass.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I think that's really creative. It's something that we haven't seen in the first movie. It's new.
Oh, yeah, that is great.
Oh yeah,
like this whole sequence in general.
Another thing I remember from the special features is that a lot of the lines they drew are like they actually I think I did a lot of it was actually created digitally, and you barely can even tell that.
Yeah, sure.
Again, it's kind of like close as you get to Jaws with raptors kind of appearing like unseen.
Absolutely.
Like I said, I forget exactly what. Oh, I love the scene where he's jumping right here. That's it. That's the great scene right there.
And that's the scene where it's like, "Yep, they're back, bitches." You remember them from the first movie?
That's kind of a cool. I mean, I know it's not technically the end of Act 3, but it's kind of a cool. Like, that's a way of bringing back the raptors. Like now we're Raptorland. Now things are going to be really dangerous. Like you have to earning your way off the island. Like what's the last kind of big kind of thing for our guys to go up against getting off the island? Well, what was another huge thing for the first movie? Well, we already did the Tyrannosaurus. Oh, the raptors, of course. Duh. Raptors.
The raptors.
There are no doors on this
are
island.
obviously the big players in the JP franchise.
Yeah.
It's a good thing there are no doors on this island.
Oh, very good. Yes.
Sarah!
Oh, wait a minute. Actually, no, they go up against the door and they still win.
Oh, wait, yeah. Never mind. Never mind. I forget exactly what parts they said were digital, or if everything was digital in that scene, but it's still pretty interesting. Like they drew the lines, and then it was like all mapped out with velociraptors inside it.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was all digital, but like I said, it just looks really good. And just the idea of the shot, it just conveys the idea really well. Quit to the elephant graveyard!
I just now realized that I never noticed that before, but I never realized that they were in a skeleton area.
Actually, it does go exactly like the elephant graveyard. They're sliding down kind of the tubing of bone. So coming up.
I just wonder what these dinosaurs actually are. Like what this is supposed to be. Like looks like brontosauruses.
I would guess it's a brontosaurus. Yeah,
probably.
With how big its rib cage and spine is.
It really goes to show. I mean, Hammond when he's assuming Hammond directed this originally, is the idea that they kind of had a setup for just the engine kind of waiting area was designed like a Jurassic Park, kind of basically like the waiting room from Jurassic Park, and we do kind of the same jump scare, like oh my god, teeth. No, it's not the real thing.
And that same sort of jump scare is also done with the tube in Jurassic Park 3.
You think we keep overusing this shot in the Jurassic Park franchise, like kind of going to the old abandoned Jurassic Park location?
I honestly forgot about this.
Just think about it. We have it here, and you say you have something like this in 3?
You have an abandoned lab in 3.
And then, of course, 4 famously has something very identical to this.
Which I think 4 is the best use of that kind of idea out of that.
Because you have the sense of history, and the score comes back. Makes you feel all nice and nostalgic.
And it also makes sense considering that's on the original island.
Yeah.
I tell you, my favorite moment in all of 4 was the moment in the theater. Like, A, when I saw the fossil mural over the doorway, and then B, when I saw the When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth banners. I was like, oh, fuck. Like, this movie isn't great, but that is just like some good member berries right there. I'm not gonna do the voice dragon.
All right.
Wait, this isn't the same island they were on the first movie, is it?
I was talking about the scene from Jurassic World.
This has got to be the same island though, because they find all the stuff.
Well, no, there's a hurricane that rolled by this area. That's why this is all abandoned. There was a hurricane that rolled by on the island, which is leaving the dinosaurs, with no precautions or any other man-made stuff.
Yeah, because the idea is that this island was staffed.
Like they created the dinosaurs here, right? They created them like in this lab, like in places like this.
And it was also kind of meant to be more of like a natural habitat for them as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, before they were brought over to the
exactly, so they could be bred properly.
Yeah.
And honestly, basically, as John Hammond put it, this island was the factory floor.
Yep.
And Tiki, you can probably shed light on this, but the way I kind of interpreted that reveal, when Hammond just said way back in the beginning of the movie, I kind of interpreted this, that's kind of explained the opening of Jurassic Park, because they're being shipped from this island, possibly. Is that?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the sequel filling in some logic gaps.
Actually, Dragon, that scene from the original happens very early on in the book.
Okay.
And you're right, it is definitely on Isla Sorna. Actually, if you go back, I think there might be. I'm not entirely sure about this, but I think there might be an Isla Sorna subtitle at the beginning of the first movie. I'm not entirely sure about that.
All right.
No idea.
Like this, I mean, is this just the lab itself, or is this just like other engine areas that were?
I mean, I assume this is not the lab in Jurassic Park 3 is like kind of like the main breeding ground, right?
And the lab in 3 looks a lot more futuristic than this.
Mm-hmm.
So what they're doing is, again, all this, also the raptors on the outside, and basically kind of like the game, like you jump inside the building, jump outside the building, with Goldblum. That's all CG. But when these
Sarah should be dead. She should be dead.
Well, yeah, obviously.
She should be dead. She should.
All right.
We heard you the first 89 times, Tiki. Or to quote Star-Lord, that was about as fascinating as the first 89 times you told me that.
I mean, the raptor literally jumps on her back and starts biting her.
She has a backpack. That's about it.
But I don't care if she has a... Don't get me started. Nah.
It's impressive CG, though, you gotta say. What I love with here's the door thing. Might be a little callback.
Yeah, that's fun.
Cal just jumps with the glass, like, not dealing with that. And now there we go.
Here's the cool practicality. So, I love the way the raptors move in this. Though, basically, I love the kind of the timing on that. You can just jump up like on a dime, and then when it jumps out, it's like sliding on the ground. Just slow movements on the raptors, and then we get like the cool up close shots where it's like digging a hole in the. It's digging a hole at the bottom of the door, and then it's also like digging its nose into like the glass of the window, like all those little. That's where you use. That's a great balance of digital and practical. Well, they're bummed.
Kelly is just like freaking out right now, but she's gonna be like a fucking superhero in a minute.
Somehow,
yes.
I mean, again, this is really cool, right? It's like so real animals, like it's like they just want to get in there as much.
They should really have a gun.
Yeah, but they don't want to hurt the dinosaurs, so...
I'd say it's a velociraptor. Screw it, hurting them. They're trying to hurt me. Self-defense for the win.
It's funny because the other scene in the first movie with velociraptors also features... Remember, like, Grant's trying to go for the gun? Like, he's trying to reach for it with his foot.
No one can hold the door while he gets the thing, but
yeah, because there's absolutely nobody in the room who could hand Grant the gun. It's not like Tim is sitting there in the room just cheering his sister on while she's doing her hacking. Anyways.
Oh, so close they could have killed the girl right there. Oh, so close.
Good job, Sarah.
Sarah.
If you can get out, so the velociraptor can get in.
Right there.
And the velociraptor's still trying to get into the car.
No, this is just silly to imagine the velociraptor somehow found a way to make the motor, work and just drove into the building.
Probably wasn't any keys in the car. Probably didn't have time to hotwire.
I would say we're not too far away from velociraptors who can drive in the Jurassic Park franchise.
Honestly, I just imagine kind of like how it should have ended thing, where like they just do like the absurd thing, like how the velociraptors came in through the door, and like how it should have been, like they can do anything. But
oh dear God, fuck this scene. Fuck.
Yes.
Ah!
Come on, Raptor, lunge.
Just,
They just sits there looking at her.
Hey, you!
Move! Oh God, I got him. Oh, poor Velociraptor.
It has like 20 seconds to get out of the way.
This movie's just horrible.
Oh,
Look at her. She isn't even happy with herself. She's like, you just killed a freaking Velociraptor, kid.
That is the worst scene in the movie. That is the worst moment in the movie.
But Dad, I flunked out of gymnastics.
Oh God. Fuck this movie.
Exactly how I feel.
Every time I get to this point in the movie, that's like, I'm just done. It's like the Phantom Menace over and over and over again.
I was done an hour and 37 minutes ago. Can you believe there's only like 30 minutes left?
Oh God, I know.
I'm surprised there's not 40 minutes left.
Well, it's
Okay, this is more like the Lex thing.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Roof that thing to death, man. Roof it.
This is a cool set piece right here, I'll admit that.
Yeah, that is really cool. It just keeps slipping and falling. Yeah, they just keep, realistic motion on these guys. Where they kind of taking nips at each other.
And now she's using common sense.
Yep.
She actually used, and then she falls.
Does anyone else really hate those drums in the background?
I hear you. They are kind of overpowering, aren't they? Now that you've pointed it out, Sandy, it is distracting.
It is.
Mine is completely muted, so I can't hear anything, so I'm completely missing what you're saying. Not what you're saying, but the drums. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
this movie. God help us all. It really is.
I'll mention here. So initially, what was going to happen? So here's the big third act switch. It's going to be they're getting in the plane. They're going to be pterodactyls attacking the thing. That was going to be the third act climax, and then the movie would have ended. But Spielberg getting the reason the movie is called The Lost World. It's I think Crichton also hit upon the same thing. I don't know who came up with it first. I'm pretty sure Crichton and Spielberg had the same point of reference because it was a book and also a movie. The Lost World, way back
by Arthur Conan Doyle.
Yes, the creator of Sherlock Holmes. Yes.
And
the crux of that is that it's a dinosaur in the city, which it's
a dinosaur that it's basically King Kong, where it's King Kong without the love story, essentially.
Exactly. And what Spielberg wanted to do, he's almost in like a Richard Donner position from the Superman movies, where he wanted to save that ending for like a third movie, or ideally it'd be like a cool ending to a franchise because it would be kind of bringing the dinosaurs to the city with Sling Hammond, basically making the most theme park you can get with it almost.
Right.
But he just thought like he wouldn't do nothing. Again, maybe because he's being a little disillusioned making this movie. I'm not sure. It's the point is he wanted to make sure he got it in there while he was directing at the very least. So that's why he just. The third one was on the way. He just wanted to make sure he got a chance to do that. So he kind of put that as a third act here. And I guess just, tabled the pterodactyls or, the parrot, however, all the paleontologists out there just don't kill me.
I call it pterodactyl, man.
They are, as far as I know, they're pterodactyls. I know like various little intricacies, but I don't care.
Either pterodactyls or pteranodons.
Yeah, it's a thing. Like just
Pteranodon is probably the more correct pronunciation, but pterodactyl just sounds a lot cooler.
The cool flying ones. That's what they are. The cool flying ones.
Yeah.
And what's funny is that technically they're not considered dinosaurs. They're just from that time period. They're not actually legitimate dinosaurs.
So I do like here. They just kind of puts it on this guy. Like you've caused a lot of death, man. Even for me, I'm trying to hunt a T-Rex. But I do like before that though, where he's just kind of coming down to him like he's like the neighbor kid or something, saying, "Oh, what's wrong? You got the big T-Rex and everything you ever wanted. Why are you so bummed out? I know you didn't get to kill it, but you got it though. You get credit, whatever you want." It's just that doesn't matter. My friends that you really are just like bloodthirsty. Got out of here. I'm out of this movie. He doesn't come back.
Yeah, Ludlow is he's not a terrible character, right? Like as we said, there are elements of his character that work. I just wish, as we said, I wish that they would have distributed the screen time a little bit better.
Yeah.
And, had him more as the central focus. Because I think, honestly, I don't really think there's much wrong with his character at all. I just wish we would have seen more of him. I wish he would have been more fleshed out.
We had a similar thing with kind of Roland as well, but yeah, I'm definitely with Ludlow.
But fuck Roland. Roland can completely go fuck off and die for all I care.
That's
Like I said, Roland.
Wow,
And I
that's
like-
harsh.
Yeah, that's yeah, that is
Say,
hard.
hey, a little bit of that too. Just know you're stupid and wrong.
No, if it means more Ludlow screen time, because I am in big defense of Ludlow. Like I like Ludlow as a character. I just wish there was more of them.
So, do you think
Roland I have no
go-
interest in?
Now, correct me if I'm wrong.
Like, there was a thing with Odd Jay. Like, we never really learned like why. Like, I mean, obviously, sad to see your friends die, but suddenly that just affects your hunt for the T-Rex. I mean, like, why didn't it affect you earlier when he actually died?
Well, the hunt's over. The thing's still there.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. So a couple days have passed, because I mean they're dressed a little differently. Their hair's down. I presume. Like, plus it's transport time. So like a day
Well,
or
yeah,
so.
it's probably just transport time. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, time has passed. I'm not crazy with that.
No, yeah, sure.
And again, just the bad idea. And here's where absolutely, as the line's going to solidify coming up, that and he becomes Hammond here with it. Again, as much as we love Hammond, and of course, decision making has been very poor in the Jurassic Park franchise, and Hammond's nephew here makes things even worse. And here's the thing. Here's just the collective. Everyone in the movie becomes stupid here, where they realize, hey, the boat's about to crash. And we know what it's we all know what it's transporting.
Right.
Engine guys know what it's transporting. And again, it seems very obvious that, okay, the boat has crashed. There's a ruckus going on. There's something's wrong. Again, the coordinates aren't coming in. Honestly, when the coordinates aren't coming in right, I think I can put together what's going on there. I was just worried that, okay, something's going on with the dinosaur.
No, I agree. I'd like have the military on the scene immediately. You know,
And
what
maybe
I mean?
not have that one stupid guy push hey, let me open the latch. Let me push the little hydraulics button to open up the half-open latch that's saving our lives.
Oh man, so much fail.
Yeah, what does this button
And they're just
do?
standing around, like all of them.
Yep, and I love just like he has the sense of like saying like, "I'll run."
And even Malcolm at this point should realize something's wrong, right?
Well, he does, and to be fair, he does realize something's wrong. He's putting it together. And then, obviously, when they get to the bottom, he absolutely sees everything here. He says, "Run, get out of here!" and tells like, "Don't push the button."
I think we should have stayed in the car.
And again, I think Malcolm, short of driving the car, I think he's all again in character what he was in the first one. That's where him saying, "No, this is a horrible idea. Don't do it." 30 years, like he's running away when everyone else is just standing around, so he knows he at least has a good idea what's going on here.
This is a cool effect with the boat, though. It's a dumb moment, but it's a cool effect.
Honestly, I'd love to see what's going on the inside, just to see how cool it looks. Just like
that would be like a really cool deleted scene, right?
Yeah, just seeing like it wake up and kind of cause this damage. I mean, basically Titanic with the Tyrannosaurus Rex. I mean,
oh, that's a really good idea for a short film. I'd love that.
It'd be like something the asylum. That sounds like something the asylum would make. But it'd still be better than anything else they've made. So I probably would see that.
Gabby sounds really happy with herself right now.
I'm sorry, what?
Gabby sounds really happy. She sounds all joyful and happy, right? I just want to point that out. Sounds
because she's zoning out the movie, and that makes her happy.
Remember, Gabby, you're not supposed to be joyful and happy during this.
No, she can be. I'm just pointing it out. It's a refreshing change in pace more than they do.
I sing all the time. I could hate everyone right now, but I will still sing.
Okay. It was a nice change of pace from just kind of like the silence or gloom and doom. But it's like at least it's like nice. It's like pleasant elevator music.
It's a pleasant elevator. I hate elevator music. Oh my gosh.
And again, here's again big sign that something's wrong here. Dead guy with a hand.
Yep.
Essentially dead man.
That's kind of a callback to Sam Jackson.
Yep. And again, at this point, it's very telegraphed what's going on here.
That hand, by the way, just looks just as fake as Sam Jackson's arm.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to think. I'm thinking back to Sam Jackson. Was it really that fake looking?
Yeah, I mean, even when I was younger, when I was younger, I was watching the first movie. I was like, what's that? What's that plastic? I was like, why is Ellie holding that plastic hand?
Oh my god, Jacob, it's funny, but I actually had the same exact reaction. Like, I literally thought it was a Halloween prop or something. I'm a motherfucking T-Rex!
Again, just whether you like the movie or not, you got all the T-Rex specific stuff is awesome. Him in the behind the city.
It's half of me. Remember?
Okay, so if we're gonna talk about like the legacy of Spielberg, I definitely think the T-Rex stuff is a big point of inspiration for Transformers, which Spielberg obviously didn't direct, but the first movie he did produce, and he actually had a big hand in the first movie. I'd like to think, like, he definitely...
I could buy that.
He co-directed a few sequences in the first movie. He kind of ghost-directed a few sequences in the first movie. Which is why the first movie is by far the best Transformers movie.
And again, this is, I think...
He gave a hand?
Yeah, yes, that's right.
And
Did you get that or not?
Shut up, dude. Stop.
And how is nobody noticing the giant? That's one thing I never got either. No one's noticing the giant T-Rex sounds. No one hears this either.
Okay, that's one of the things. Yeah, I kind of noticed that on the rewatch, Jacob. I'm glad you pointed that out. It's like everyone's just chilling in the office. And
they should at least hear. They should at least hear the footsteps.
I mean, yeah, you're right. Because a big hallmark with the franchise, one of the most iconic things with the franchise is the T-Rex, like the boom, boom, like the water shaking and everything.
And someone in that city should at least hear that roar, because if a lion's roar can be heard from like miles away, a T-Rex can probably be heard from like a lot farther. I mean, trust me. Like I said, I have a big suspension of disbelief. Either that or just low standards. But it's like, even I admit that's kind of a bit of a stretch, even for Spielberg.
This movie's got fucking 20 minutes left, guys.
Now, to be fair, like this again, all the stuff we're about to see, this is like the stuff Spielberg was most excited for, and does show. Like, that's why kind of all the T-Rex stuff's really, really cool. There's again, there's like stuff. What?
And we did miss the best line of one of the best lines here.
Yeah.
Now you're John.
Well, congratulations, now you're John.
Yes, I mean that's like one of the best lines in this movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. This thing is a fun idea here. Just like
and this is exactly what I'm talking about with Transformers, because there's a lot of moments in the first Transformers movie.
Yeah, the pool thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost a beat by beat replica with the dog and the pool and everything.
I think it was a step too far. Like really mean. Oh man, he ate the dog.
At least in Transformers, he didn't kill the dog.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one. He didn't
Transformers, the dog just gets startled.
Yeah, didn't accidentally step on the dog. You're thinking, oh, what's this? I stepped in dog stuff. I stepped on I stepped on a dog. Yeah, filling in for the obvious.
This dog licks lubricant on my foot.
I wonder what that kid is thinking right now.
Doesn't have much of a reaction.
This is either the coolest thing I'm seeing or the scariest thing I'm seeing. Whatever it is, I need proof that I'm not dreaming, so I'm going to wake up the folks.
He's just so calm, though. He's so calm. Why is he so calm? What's wrong with this kid?
He thinks he might be. I think he thinks he's dreaming. I don't know.
Have you ever heard of the term? Tiki, have you heard of the term paralyzed with fear? That's probably what's going on.
I just do think it's really funny. Just him like blatantly just some deadpan saying to the sleeping kid. It's just so funny. Honestly, this kid's giving a far better performance than Kelly is. Just him saying like, "There's a T-Rex in the backyard."
There's a dinosaur in our backyard.
Oh, right, sorry, yes. There's a dinosaur.
Like most kids will be like, "Oh my God, there's a dinosaur!" Admittedly, most kids, even if it was a T-Rex, they're like, "Oh my God, there's a dinosaur in my backyard." He's like, "There's a dinosaur in our backyard."
That's what. Look at, he's still like just kind of blasé, just pushing them out, just like.
And okay, let me ask you guys this: Do you think the T-Rex kills all three of them here or not?
That'd be, well.
Because we don't see it; it just cuts away. We don't know if they're all dead or not.
I always felt bad for the dog.
Well, of course, yeah. I'm still saying, like, you think it's like...
that kid was stupid to take that picture, I'll say that much.
Well, yeah, I mean, do you think that picture got them all killed or not?
I think if that picture wasn't taken, they would have a much better chance of survival. I'll say that much.
And here's like the one bit of the score that really kind of sticks out to me. I mean, kind of like the da 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 da. And
I do like how we do see the park.
Yeah. And like the logic of the park here is that Hammond way back when he kind of developed this is really kind of his end goal. Then he realized,
this would essentially be a phase 1.
Yeah.
The movie just needs to end already. Go.
Okay, I love how little security there is in this very secure facility.
That is
You didn't have to join us tonight. I mean, you could have just said no.
No, I had to. I have to share.
No, it's fun. It's fun. Like
I know. I'm just giving her a hard time.
This is wonderful.
You know what's funny? Bear in mind, I just want to make it clear so no one just tries to kill me. Or just again, I changed my tune on Close Encounters. Basically, this whole like when will it end? Just that question that first time I was watching after a long while. It's like what? It keeps going and going. When's it gonna end?
But I think Close Encounters does that in a good way. Like,
it does. I'm saying it's still beautiful. I'm just saying like
this. You're just like, oh my god, there's more.
Yeah,
awesome.
It's just like it keeps going. It's like what? Yeah. Only here.
Isn't there a Godzilla gag somewhere? Isn't there like a Godzilla gag somewhere in this movie?
Yeah. We're gonna have a bunch of folks running away, looking at very startled. And this bus thing's really cool. Again, him just walking around here, all these locations, just kind of like wreaking havoc, and it looks really cool. And of course, we mirror the dinosaur chasing in the mirror shot.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I think here we have the video store gag, which gives so we have Jack and we have Jack and the Beanstalk with Robin Williams. We have Arnold Schwarzenegger and King Lear, and we have Tsunami Summer with
something like that. Yeah.
Tsunami Sunrise.
There's Creature from Black Lagoon in back there. That's interesting.
Now you'll notice the man who can't quite make it to the entrance. That's the writer, David Kapp, the guy who's about to get eaten before he enters the.
Oh God!
The
okay.
That's the writer. So I guess that's kind of a comment. If anyone didn't like the movie, they're probably using that clip. And I love that he just feasts upon him too. Oh man, this guy he's either really good or it's so mixed. It's like I really don't like what this guy's done, but sometimes he tastes really good. Sometimes he's got good taste.
Pretty good stunt work with the vehicles.
It's gonna be Malcolm's
in actuality, I wouldn't mind seeing like an entire movie based around the dinosaurs loose in a city like this.
I wouldn't mind that being the premise for Jurassic Park 5.
Technically, we have that movie, and it's called "We're Back: A Dinosaur Story."
Oh God! Oh, don't! Oh.
Also, Spielberg. Isn't that Spielberg?
I think he produced that one.
It's produced, yes.
I know at least Amblin was involved with it. I think.
Yeah. I forget. It must have. I guess it was Amblin.
I don't know if Spielberg was directly involved with that, but I do know it's like something to do with Amblin.
Yeah. That movie is like probably the most disturbing movie of my entire childhood.
Professor Screw Eye.
Screw Eye. Yeah. Like, there's a YouTube trend of childhood trauma videos going around. I don't know if you guys have seen that or not.
Oh God, no.
But basically, like what stuff from kids' movies scared us as kids, and Professor Screw Eye. That's my number one right there.
Oh God.
Anyway.
So I think this goes on a little long.
Oh yeah.
Like everything else in the movie, it's a good set piece, but it just could use some editing.
Well, would you guys agree with
the movie could be a solid 1 hour 45 minutes. Like, you could trim a lot of fat from this movie. I'd actually like to see a fan edit of this movie.
Of course.
That'd basically just be the opening and the credits.
No, Ezra. No.
But do you guys honestly, were you guys being serious? You said like you'd seen an entire movie based around this final sequence.
Well, just the premise of them I'd like to see a premise of like of an inland Jurassic Park where the dinosaurs get loose. I'd like to see that. That'd be really cool.
I had Tiki and I were talking about Jurassic Park 5. like some ideas for Jurassic World or whatever whatever the next one will be.
I really hope it's not just called Jurassic World 2.
Yeah, like whatever
they bother me.
Because I know the working title's Jurassic World 2, but they're probably not going to stick.
I hope it's Jurassic World subtitle.
Well, remember, I pitched Jurassic Underground. The whole it's basically we do like have them run loose, but it's like subterranean, it's like an underground base. Anyway. So yeah, here we have now. This to me is kind of this. Like usually we like to kind of use the moment of change as an example. This is kind of him sealing his fate here. This is a Ludlow kind of sealing his fate. Where basically he should have jumped off like with the rest of the guys here. But he's just going down. Basically, he's trying to secure his booty, which would be the baby Tyrannosaurus Rex. He still wants to mark it. He hasn't learned his lesson,
which is dumb.
And I do love that it's his undoing though, because I'm just based on this, just looking at the scene in itself, just like he still wants to market the baby Tyrannosaurus because he wants to kill the one that's trying to kill him and wants to just take the smaller one and still build upon again, not learning anything. But I love that the little one is what kills him though.
And as I said, I do like how the baby T-Rex is kind of like the driving force of the plot in this movie.
Yeah.
That is a decent idea.
Of course, we see again, he is quite literally like the big bad of the movie here.
Right. Which is clever. That is kind of clever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And he has a gruesome death. Because again, he's it's like, he's a. What if Hammond was very callous about he knew he was going to risk human lives versus the actual Hammond who, the actual Hammond he felt guilty and he was haunted by trying to amend that. This guy's like, yeah, so what? So it cost him a few lives, but to do the whole thing over again, it's like his reluctance to change killing him. Just love the prideful, almost like kind of dino smile coming from the father.
Yes.
Like there's a dinosaur hallmark moment for you there.
Right. Oh my God, that is awesome.
It's like it's fatherly. It's like it's murderous fatherly pride. Like there's my boy, or that's my offspring.
Oh my God.
Always the red button because red's more exciting. And this is kind of neat. So she basically wants to prevent it from getting killed and shot the hex. So she kind of manages to kind of get the trank in there at the very last minute. Kind of neat. Mm-hmm. Yep. Who's gonna get the shot first?
I'm just ready. I'm sure Gabby feels the same way. I'm just ready for this thing to be over.
Yes, hallelujah.
Gabby's gonna be so happy when she sees directed by Steven.
I am so ready. I've been ready.
Never have you been more excited to see Spielberg's name.
So excited to just turn the movie off.
Here's Goldblum giving some good. Was giving some big. It's overacting. It's over. We're alive. Lighting.
Yes. Spotlights. Lens flares.
Oh, so we kind of glazed over Spielberg tropes here and there. So we had a really kind of intriguing lighting.
We have to bitch about the movie and make in jokes.
Yeah, we kind of forget, you point out tropes. Again, Janusz was on the movies. We had the beginnings of kind of the direction Spielberg would go in here and there.
Mm-hmm.
CNN.
Hello. I cut out.
Okay,
I went bad. For
what's funny? Hello?
Yeah.
Hello, and the internet cut out for some reason.
Okay, we all good? We can hear each other?
Yeah, Jacob, for the record, we're on the last scene, the news broadcast, so you don't really
the movie didn't stop. I mean, I have it. All right. I have it playing separate from my browser.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Well, something interesting.
I just want to talk about that last scene, but we're past it.
Sure. Go ahead, Dragon.
Something interesting is that Spielberg doesn't look at the Indiana Jones films as sequels. He looks at them as like adventures in a serial of Indiana Jones films, like another adventure. So looking at it like that, in a way, Spielberg he's not really much of a sequel guy if you look at it that way. And kind of see what happens when you kind of make something. It's at the very least, this is super marketed as a sequel. Hey, we're doing another Jurassic Park, and maybe Spielberg just really isn't that keen on doing sequels. And that might it's kind of revisiting the well and kind of losing the magic. away
It's
for
like the
him.
longest 7 minutes.
No, okay, I'm going to defend this. I think ending on John Hammond is a classy move. I really, really do
I
like this
agree.
ending.
It is nice to hear him, like, again, use the line over, like, kind of seeing what he wanted happen in the first place. Like,
I
it's
think
the
this
natural
is-
setting.
I think it's better that they have him at the ending. I still believe, though, that this movie sucks, though.
Oh, yeah, it does. Absolutely.
So I cannot wait.
But this is a decent ending, though. This is a
We're not trying to
decent
get it
ending to a
off death
shitty
row,
movie.
Gabby. We know the thing's set.
Oh,
And there's the one shot of pterodactyls we get.
Yep. And you know,
Part 3, folks.
I could be reading into this, but it's the fact that we on the pterodactyl, the winged kind of dinosaur, it's might be a nod to the ending of the first one. You know, we have like the bird flying a little.
it's over.
It could be.
Oh,
It could be.
yes.
Thank God. Thank God.
Oh, look at her! She's so darn happy that it's over.
Oh God, thank
It's
God.
over. It's over.
I haven't been more happy to hit the escape button. Get the shit out of here. All right, how did everyone feel?
She's so giddy.
Oh, I haven't been this happy in a while. Oh, okay. Oh God, it's hot.
Well, it was an experience. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
God, that movie.
I mean, this was a fun commentary to record, you guys, because
Definitely.
I mean, like, the terminal was just awkward because we all hated the terminal except for Dragon, and so it just turned into a big debate. And with this, it was just all cathartic. And Jacob, I'm sorry that you're kind of like the odd man out here, but
Had its moments.
yeah.
It's all I can really kind of add to it. Is like, it had its moments. Obviously, again, believe me, nowhere near as kind of cohesive and kind of fondly remembered as the first one. But yeah, it had its moments though.
It's just the first one is a perfect movie.
By far. By far.
Like, even the imperfections of the first one make it more perfect in my eyes.
I honestly.
Like, the goofy stuff that you can laugh at makes it a more endearing movie.
Yeah.
Like Lex on our computers.
Exactly. Yeah, totally. I'm a hacker.
God.
This is just empty. It's just empty. It's like, as I said, it's almost just like a Stan Winston Studios, like, sizzle reel.
Even watching it now, I still don't exactly know what's going on.
I know, right?
Watching it, I'm just like, what is that?
It seems about deserving
I
of
just
its.
think the plot just gets so muddled, right? Like, it's just like the whole Dino PETA thing, and it's got no flow to it.
Yes.
Would you say it's deserving of its Rotten Tomatoes rating of essentially it's like 50-50. It's like 50-something%. So
No,
you
it
say
shouldn't
it
even
should
get
be
a
lower.
1.
It should be lower.
It shouldn't
No,
even get a
I think the half and half's a little fair. Either you just kind of take it again, visually it's kind of cool looking. You have some
Look,
good
I
sequences in
like
there.
some
It's-
things in this movie, but I definitely don't like half of the things in this movie.
Exactly. I definitely hate it.
If it were up to me, it would get a 30 on Rotten
I was
Tomatoes.
a- no,
I would
mine's
agree
a
with that.
20.
30% sounds fair.
See, mine's a 20, but that's just because I'm adding to my hate and bitterness.
I'll meet you in
with
the
it.
middle at 25, Gabby. I'll meet you
Okay,
in the
great.
middle.
There you go.
I can't
Great.
believe I'm saying this. I'm saying, hey, let's stick with 50, but okay.
Nah, hell,
No, it's definitely not 50.
hell no.
I think 25 is gracious enough.
Okay, go on.
I really agree. Oh,
And it's like I can just feel Spielberg's lack of passion and him just wanting to do the set pieces. I mean, that is very evident in this movie.
evident.
Yeah, evident.
Very
It
apparent.
was horrible. Thank God it's over.
Yep.
Yay! We
It's
can all
over,
clap
isn't
and-
it? Isn't it?
Except it's still got 3 minutes of credits.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no way in hell I'm watching the
Min!
Well, I mean, we're going to talk through the credits.
yeah.
Jack Etzel, hey, that
My
guy.
credits are done. My credits are over.
Lauren Peterson.
Honestly, the only reason I have the movie still on is so I can listen to John Williams music in the background.
Understood.
Jeff with a G, Heron.
What?
I'm listing off
He's
the
reading
credits.
credit names.
Jim Morris.
All right, Dragon. All right.
Stan
Bob
Winston. Okay,
Finley
there-
the third.
Oh God.
J. Allen Scott. Mark, quote unquote, Crash McCready.
Dragon, quiet time now, please.
He's the one not laughing. He's the only one not laughing.
If this movie had the plot of Jurassic World, and if Jurassic World had the effects of this movie, then they would both be so much better.
But they didn't, so it's not.
Yep. Anyone got any final words? Gabby, I know you're just done. You're over
yeah. Yeah, that was it.
This movie has proven itself time and time again to be a stain on Spielberg's
How
filmmaking career.
how horrible.
Yeah.
How
As
about
I said,
you?
I think what I said, earlier was just a perfect representation for me of what this movie means to me. It's like, it's the Phantom Menace that never ends. Like, the disappointment of this movie will never go away.
It's like you really want to like it because
there's always going to be that part of me every time I sit down to watch this movie that wants to like it. So it's
and you just can't.
yeah. I want to like this movie so badly, and I honestly, genuinely, really enjoy Jurassic Park 3. I'd like to talk about Jurassic Park 3 at some point with you guys.
I'll have to watch that again to see if I've changed my mind.
I genuinely enjoy it a lot. Obviously, it's nowhere near the same level as Jurassic Park,
Right.
but it's a B movie, and it's trying to be a B movie, and it doesn't think it's anything other than a B movie. So
it was definitely not that the horrible one. God, that was a black sheep of the family.
All right, we're getting near the end. Dragon, any final words on your behalf?
Yeah, I think there's something to be learned from this movie. There's a lesson in not forcing a sequel and in learning from past mistakes. Just kind of going through like kind of the crux of what the Jurassic kind of franchise has been. But there in this film, there's an effort of like Hammond's trying to learn from his past mistakes, and there's a lot of contrivances in this movie, and we're still not learning from those past mistakes. I just think that's apparent. In the film, I think had they maybe gone with like the Barbasol plot, I don't know, had it just come across naturally versus like a lot of pressure. Like, yeah, we want to see Jurassic Park. It's the most profitable of franchise. Everyone loves dinosaurs. Let's play on that. And I think if they just kind of let it kind of happen naturally instead of just like let's force Crichton to put out a book and we'll just kind of take what we like from that. And it's
Right?
It's missing. It's like we're.
It's like the sausage factory way to make a movie. You know what I mean?
It's like they're trying to capture lightning in a bottle from the first one. It's an impossibility. It's something really hard to do, capture the same lightning and whimsy of the first movie, and it's like artificially trying to recreate, but also trying to do something a little different that didn't really pay off. But again, it seems like there were the best of intentions in place. It's just we're making them. We bought the pieces. We have all the pieces there, but we're not assembling them right.
Yeah, totally.
And again, it's like we have a few like cool pieces there, but they don't go together in in a really smooth narrative at all. So that's where it's failing as a movie.
A big turnoff for me was the main character's costumes. Honestly, I'm not kidding.
A big turnoff for me is just the characters themselves.
Just the whole movie.
I know, but I feel like costumes, at least for me, they can't save a character, but they can at least make it more interesting, like visually. If you have nothing to look at, the character's character, you at least want something visually appealing.
The first movie
was the costume was Malcolm.
Yeah, right. And the first movie definitely did have memorable costumes. I would say for all the characters.
Yeah, Grant had like primary colors on his red, blue, and tan.
Sattler was pink. Malcolm, of course, had like the rock star look. John Hammond, they were all, Anyways, okay, so I think we've all said our piece on this movie. I think.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So coming up next on Spielberg Month, folks, we will be talking about Minority Report. Yes, that's right. It's the first team up with Tom Cruise and Steven Spielberg. Much better movie than The Mummy. I'll say that much right now.
That's not a hard thing to do.
No, but I'm really excited to talk about Minority Report. It's a really, really good hard sci-fi movie. It's got some really, really interesting like thematic ideas and morality.
Great Philip K. Dick.
Yep. It's a really cool kind of morality tale. Really looking forward to talking about that. It's that's a standout for me with Spielberg. All right, so thank you for joining us in Spielberg Month. And I'll catch you. I'll catch you next time. Sarah.